You're gonna see, you're gonna listen audibly. It's the Guy in a Basement podcast. All right, everyone, welcome to the Guy in a Basement podcast with your host, the Wagonmeister. And with me today is a friend I know from my travels abroad in the east of Japan. Welcome to the show, Alexis. Hello, Alexis. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing really great. How are you?
Oh, I'm quite fine. I'm just doing dandy.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. It's Saturday. I'm not working today. Can't complain.
Wonderful.
Took
That's
a
always
nap.
that's always a pleasure. It's always a really good
Wearing
time.
my pajamas.
Nice. Cheers.
They're classy though, so I was like,
There you go. You're looking good for the viewers. That's always important.
thank you.
All right. So, everybody, I met Alexis while training for an English teaching position. While training for an English teaching position in Eastern Japan at a Eikaiwa school, and Eikaiwa is of course an English conversation school. Just to let everyone know, so Alexis, I try and kind of not say the name of the school just so like no one gets in trouble.
No, I'm the same way. I'm
Yeah.
the same way.
I've had a former coworker from my old school, and I have one of our friends that you have met before you left Japan, as well as I did, at that crazy hotel night we had.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I literally walked out as soon as I heard what happened in the the truth and dare thing, and I thought, oh my god, why am I missing this? But at the same time, I was like, probably it's okay not to see that. So there you go. See, she's just laughing because she remembers the insanity of it. And there you go.
That was a great hotel party.
It was a good hotel party. And
Good drinks.
everyone was safe. We were all tested. It was good. It was good. It was good.
Yes, no AIDS or past. We were
No,
good.
yes. And no CVs, you know. The C to the V to the ID with a 19.
Oh yeah, that.
That thing was happening too, but everyone was healthy, so we did that. So that was good. It was Japan. They had shut the whole country down at that point.
That's true. Yeah, we were like super isolated.
Yes, we were. But hey, there you go. That's a part of the story. So,
Oh, cheers, by the way.
oh yeah, cheers. Metaphorical clink. Oh snap!
Yeah.
Okay, to the thing. Oh my! Let's not break our cameras. All right.
Okay.
So, today we are discussing two things, and the rabbit holes that are with those two things, guys. We are discussing
Yes.
living in Japan and the results of
Yes.
coming back to our home countries.
Yes.
Both of us are American, so very, very simple. And so coming back to America. So first and foremost, I have lived in Japan once before I was doing Eon. Well, the cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag. No one listens to this.
We'll just edit that out. You
Oh.
can like bleep it out.
Yeah, I got to figure out how now. I don't even know. So whatever.
We'll just slip it under the rug.
It's
Edit
it's
it
like
out.
okay, the company. When we went to work for the company, before we went to the work for the company, I had studied abroad in Japan for 6 months in 2017. But for yourself, I think this was your first thing to do after college, right?
I actually worked in public health for a year, and
Okay.
then I wasn't happy doing that anymore. And I
sure.
just really wanted to live abroad. I lived in Australia as an exchange student for a semester.
Nice.
In 2016, and I loved it. So my goal was at some point I want to live and work in another country, and I decided I'd go to Japan.
There you go. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. So first off and foremost, why Japan in the first place, if I might ask?
Okay, if we really want to get into the detail, actually, my first choice was New Zealand.
Oh.
Very different, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I lived in Australia. And I love hiking and outdoor stuff and the beach and that slow vibe that Australia has.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit my job in public health and I'm gonna go pick blueberries on a farm. Just live in hostels and just
You just
farm.
be you'd be an itinerant worker in New Zealand.
Yeah, I'd be like, do you know what a working holiday is?
Yes, I do, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I wanted to do that. I was really keen on it. I always use the word keen.
There you go.
Um, and then I talked to my sister about it, and she's like, "Why don't you go to Japan and do what I did?" So she worked for the same company.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, from
interesting.
2012 to 2013. So this is several
Okay.
years ago.
Yes.
They were on the phone, and she's like, "Why don't you just work for that company? You get an apartment, you get a salary, you get
Mm-hmm.
medical benefits.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be living in a city, and then you could transfer those skills to another job when you go back to the US."
Mm.
I was like, you know what? I think that's a lot more stable and safer than just working on a blueberry farm in New Zealand and like kind of just like coasting, literally.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, I love Asian food.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I was really young, I've always really like sushi. Like if I'm on like Postmates or something and I'm just too lazy to eat or like make something,
Right.
literally like I'll always just tap like the Asian button. And like I'll just like eat Asian food. So it's like, okay, food is good.
Mm-hmm.
People seem really nice. My sister was like, yeah, they're really sweet over there, like polite, it's very clean. And also it's like they don't speak English, so
There's a
it
level
just
of
sounds interesting.
challenge. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like I feel like if I would have moved to New Zealand, yeah, it would have been cool. I would have seen like amazing
Right.
sights and hiked a lot and it would have been very like active.
Yes.
But it's still like English, so it's kind of like in a way still like America in some aspect. But like non-English, it's like, whoa, like how am I gonna be when I'm here? You know?
I
It's
don't.
intriguing. It
I don't.
has like yeah.
I don't know if a Kiwi, that is to say, a New Zealander, or any English-speaking country that's not. I don't think they want to be like compared. Like, it's like America. It's like
No, I
what?
like with language.
Right. I know. I get that. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
like,
Yeah. I just like it. To anyone who's listening, uh,
they're not the same, I know.
there you go. But at least you can kind of understand what they're saying, even with their ridiculous accent.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, to them, our accent is ridiculous, so everyone's accent is ridiculous to everyone else.
I actually really, my favorite accent is Australian accent. It
Ah,
has that like twanginess to it. I like it.
I'm sorry. Again, my coworker, who is actually someone I interviewed on this podcast back in episode 3, he is an extremely Australian person. Like, if you want a quintessential Australian guy, that's the guy you want to talk to.
Cool.
Yeah, but he's a.
We'll do part 2 and we'll have him on.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
We should do one day. We should do like multiple people that work for the company and just like, can I cuss on here or no?
Yes, this is an 18 plus podcast.
Okay. Okay. Just like shoot the shit and just talk about like just stories. That would be fun.
There you go. I'm surprised I haven't cussed yet concerning it. I was almost like, oh my, like literally when I said what I said without intending it, I was like, oh fuck. In the back of my mind, I was like, no. I just couldn't. I was like,
You're so funny. Oh my
oh,
gosh.
thank you very much, friend.
You really. I'll never forget that day when I was dating Daniel. You met my ex Daniel. We're still really good friends, by the way.
You're okay.
Remember? Yeah. We went to Garlic Joe's.
Yes, I remember that in
Yeah,
Yokohama.
and you were you were telling us stories about when.
This is probably one of the
when
Uber
you were
stories. Well, that
Oh
was.
my god.
Yeah, I have gotten, I think, surprisingly for the life I live, for as cautious as a person I am, I get into some crazy ass wacky situations that I don't know how the fuck I got into, but they happen, and then it's like, well, that's a fun story. Well, it's like, at the time, it was really fucking shitty, but looking back, it's good. Yeah, there you go. So,
Sorry, I'm going off track. That's what I do. Okay,
that's what
so
we're
Japan.
doing.
Yeah,
This is the rabbit hole
that's-
podcast.
Yes, I like that. I like that. So yeah, Japan.
Right.
So I went.
Yes.
Adventure.
So, you went to Yokohama. You were in Yokohama.
Yokohama City. It's my favorite city. Yokohama City.
There you go. I like Yokohama. I think it's a bit better than Tokyo because it's a bit more spread out. It's more sea.
It's
What would you say
it has
is?
that very like historical element for sure.
There you go. What would you say is your favorite part about living in Yokohama?
Oh, I love that. Thinking back, it brings back so much nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part was literally just like I would just walk around for hours. I remember the first time I actually, I was living in like Yokohama City, like Yokohama proper.
Right.
So do you remember Landmark Tower?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's a really tall skyscraper in downtown Yokohama. And I literally lived, no joke, like less than a 15-minute walk from there. You remember?
I think so, because I remember it's like, yeah, this is where my station is, and then I live over there, and then I just take this to go here. I think.
Yeah,
Is that how that evening?
I walked, I could walk to Yokohama Station. No, not, well, I actually did walk to Yokohama Station. That was a different way.
Right.
But to Landmark Tower, I would walk to Landmark Tower and just like walking around there. They had like the Queens Plaza Mall, and
Right.
then I would walk about 45 minutes to Yamashita Park.
Ooh.
That's where they have the beautiful harbor along the East Japan Sea. And they had the big old ship that they used to use back in like the way early 1900s. And it's just very historical, like back in the Meiji era. You're a history buff.
Yeah.
And in the late 1860s, when Japan is opening up to the Western world, the first imports from the Western world was through Yokohama Harbor, the harbor there. So walking along Yamashita Park, sometimes after work, I would just walk to Yamashita Park by myself and like have my headphones in and just like listen to music. And then sometimes I would walk almost an hour home because I just wanted to like, look at the sea and the city and the lights. And that was my favorite part, was like literally just like walking around and like looking at the ocean.
I love that, because that's like one of the things I loved
So
about
simple.
when we worked there. Like for me, my apartment was like I think a mile and a half away, and I just walked through a park with a random right next to the international, like the Japanese Space Museum, because there was like the technology city where I worked. And there's literally this rocket that was an easy 100 feet, 200 feet tall, and I would pass it every day I went to work. Every day I came back, there's the rocket. There you go. And just like the peace in the park was nice. Although, for anyone who knows, if you've ever been to Japan, summer sucks because it's humid as balls.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So like walking to work during that time really sucked, but it was still nice, I guess, sometimes when I wasn't like losing 5 pounds from sheer sweat. There you go.
I remember when we were training in the summertime, and you were like, guys, I'm losing so much weight because you were just sweating so much.
Well, I was sweating so much, and like I couldn't eat anything. My stomach was like, That eventually came to a head. There was a week where I was like really sick from not eating. I had to like increase my food intake. It was bad. I was like, and then like looking back now, I was like, holy shit, did I have COVID back in December of 2019? Maybe, because I don't know. Maybe it would have been in Japan at the time. Everything was open then. They were just figuring that shit out.
Wow. Yeah. Well, no, COVID wasn't a thing. Because training was August of 2019.
Yep.
You probably.
I don't know, man. You don't know. I was in an international city with businessmen and shit. We never know.
No, you never know. Maybe you did. I don't know.
I don't know. Or maybe I was just feeling really, really weak and I don't know. Again, I mean, it's in the past and I'm alive, so I'm happy about that.
You're alive and well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good. It's a very good situation.
You gotta flip to the rocket. You're good.
I mean, I'll there you go. I'll tell you a story that was really something. My father passed away last year, and I know that's sad, and because of the situation, I don't want to talk about it on the podcast because it's kind of depressing. But I was literally left the week that COVID started hitting America hard. So I go to America for the thing. Everything's shut down. So I'm quarantined at home with my mother and brother. Then I get back the day before Japan closes its borders to every single nation on the planet. Literally, I got it right at my nose. Like, so close. I came in at March 2nd. On March 3rd, boom! Borders closed. No one in or out. If you're Japanese, screw it. You're stuck in that country wherever you are. And I got in!
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like,
wow.
This close, or else I would have not been able to do my job.
Wow.
Yep.
That's insane.
It was wild. And then I was quarantined for 2 weeks there, so I spent like 3 weeks in quarantine. It sucked. It sucked hard.
I would have gotten so like lonely. Like, I need. Did you like chat with your friends though, at least like online?
I chatted with my friends online. I played a lot of Animal Crossing with them at the time, so it was nice. I meditated a lot. I kind of worked through the situation.
Yeah, you're going through a lot. I remember that.
Yeah. Can I tell you a story?
You look good though. You look good though.
Thank you.
I can tell you're working on yourself. Yeah.
I'm doing very good. I've been working out like 3 times a week. I walk 5 miles every day. I'm eating low calorie.
What?
I've lost about 10 pounds now from like 3 to 4 weeks ago. So
okay, yeah, that's awesome.
I'm in a state of progress. I'm doing really good.
That's good. That's good.
I'm very happy.
Happy for you.
Thank you. It's very.
So
oh, go ahead.
You said you wanted to tell me a story?
Okay. So. Now I'm curious if I should say this online or not, because like to whoever is going to listen to this, they know who they were that did this, and okay. So basically, I called some friends because we were gonna hang out anyway,
right.
And they said, hey, I need some like kind of quiet time to talk too because of what just happened. And they're like, of course. But then I also invited some of our training mates. And the evening I came, of course, it was really fresh in my mind what had happened. And then, so I'm there with them for dinner. Then I go all the way over to the other side of Tokyo for this, drop off my stuff for the hotel. I get back to Shinjuku, and I shit you not, they're all drunk in the streets as I find them. And then, like, I get insulted to my face by one of them. And this is one of our training mates who's drunk. And, like, of course, she's like, Nick, don't be so intellectual and don't be a bummer. And I'm like... And that's how I felt. I can tell you who it is. That would be very mean. But, like, and they were super drunk at the time. But, like, it felt like, you know, it's like someone taking an arrow and shooting it. And it was like...
Hey, does she have short hair?
No. I don't know how long her hair was. But, you know what? I'm just going to send you privately who it was. Because I don't want to, like, out them,
I think I have a feeling.
All right. I don't want to, I want to see your reaction, right? To see if you're, like, surprised
Okay. All right. Send it to me on Instagram or something.
Yeah, I can do that. That works. That works a lot. Okay, let me just get my phone. All right. Okay. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here is who sent this to me. Here's who said this to me.
To your face. Oh.
That face is like, you're like, ah.
Yeah.
The fact that you're just like, that makes sense. Well, there you go. She knows now. Yeah. Like, I didn't hold her anything against it. I was just really pissed off at the time. But then I really channeled fuck it, my fuck it energy. And I just, like, started going ham into karaoke when we got to the karaoke joint in Shibuya or Shinjuku, wherever the hell we are.
Oh, man, I miss that karaoke. That was so fun.
Yeah, I miss it, too. We should do we should hold, like, an online area, like an online Discord or, like, karaoke night through, like, I don't know, YouTube or something. Like a screen share or something.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, you know?
That'd be really fun. I've never done a virtual karaoke.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a hell of a time.
God, we should get some, like rave lights or something.
Everyone just prepared. It's like kind of like low-key house music playing in the background. Yes. Some shit like that, I don't know.
Wait, I gotta let the dog out really quick.
Yeah, no worries. It's all good. All right, everyone, it's now for time for me to ramble about random shit while my co-host is away. So, Japan, right? This is a great country. But at the same time, here are some words of warning. First, you have to carry your trash wherever you go, because there's no public trash cans. Have a backpack prepared. 2, be sure to have something to wipe your brow if you're going in summer, because you are going to lose at least 3 or 4 pounds from just water weight walking around anywhere in that country, unless you're going to Hokkaido, which has the best weather for the shortest amount of time of the year, that is summer, because like the rest of the time it's like winter time. Number three. Traveling in Japan is so awesome because of the trains that now I hate the fact I have to drive a car everywhere. It sucks. I like trains. Cars are fucking ridiculous.
I just bought a really nice new car, so I actually really enjoy driving right now.
I love driving. I did driving for work, so like I have to love driving, right?
Oh.
But there's just something about sitting on the train with your legs crossed over, kind of like maybe just like on your phone watching YouTube. You don't have to worry about the road. It's like a self-driving car without the chance of crashing into. Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's way more convenient. Like a car relative to a train. Definitely, I prefer a train, but.
I mean, I'm not knocking a car. I love cars. American life. I just like public transit. I'm just like I'm towing the line. I miss that too. Yeah. All right.
It was part of life.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I totally agree with you. Again, this is the rabbit hole. Anyway.
Okay.
So, Japan. I think a good question to ask would be, so we have now been in America since I'm assuming September of last year.
Well, you got here earlier because you left right when your contract.
Right, because you did the extension. I forgot they transferred you, didn't they?
That's the whole story.
Okay, tell me. I want to hear it because I was so curious.
You want to hear that? Okay, so this is what happened.
All right.
So you know how 6 months before your year ends, they have that meeting with you,
right?
And then they either offer you an extension or they'd say, politely, like, okay, you're just gonna do the 1 year.
Yeah.
So they offered me the extension, and I was like, cool, you know what? No. Yeah, so they offered me an extension for another year, and I said I would think about it. Then the meeting the week later, after that initial meeting, I told them that I am actually going to go back home.
Right.
So then, I decided I'm only going to stay there for a year at the 6-month meeting.
Right.
Then a week or two goes by, and I'm talking to my boss on the train. She's like, "Oh, it'd be so cool if you stayed for another year. Like, we really think
that answers my question. I was going to ask how long you got offered. There you go."
Yeah. So then I was like, "Okay, is it too late so I can change my mind?" She's like, "No, you can still change your mind." So then, after the fact, I changed my mind and I said, "Okay, I'll stay another year." So I signed the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Then a couple months later, it was June. So yeah, this was a couple months later. They pulled me aside and they basically said, because after COVID was happening,
right,
and they were losing money.
Yeah.
Was losing money.
Yes, they were. They were.
Yeah, a lot, and they're probably still losing a lot of money now.
Well, I mean, I would be like, listen, I want to be honest. If I was a student, I would still be scared to go in FA. I'd be like, only online classes, baby, and even then, oof.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. Everyone has a different comfort level.
Yeah.
And so they were losing money, so then they're like, okay, we're gonna cut it down to 1 foreign teacher instead of 2.
Oh.
So they decided to send me to a school in more rural Japan, Odawara, that was like an hour and a half south.
It had like the big castle, right?
No. It was more south, more towards Shizuoka. It was like on the border of Shizuoka Prefecture.
Right.
Yeah. So they were like, we're actually going to send you there, and I was kind of disappointed because I was anticipating that I was going to be in Yokohama for another year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where this is going. So
then they're like, okay. So they're basically like, okay, your next year is actually going to be a school in Odawara, and then I was like, really? But then I went and I visited there, and it was really beautiful. So I had a whole year of being in the city, like a city life,
right,
town, and then I had 4 months living in like a more rural city.
Yeah, so you kind of got.
So it was cool because
you kind of got the same experience I did.
Yeah, I got to experience both the city and
or the countryside.
The more rural Japan.
Nice.
Countryside, right? And it was short-lived. It was only 4 months. School just wasn't the same. It just had a different vibe. One of the foreign coworkers that I worked with, older guy, super chill, nice.
Right.
He's like from New York, and he's like, yeah, the school kind of feels like a funeral. And I was like, you know what? It kind of does, because Because you know how usually when you walk into the company, like at the lobby, you're supposed to be all like happy-go-lucky and like, hey guys.
Right,
You know?
right.
I felt really comfortable to be myself at the first school in Yokohama.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second school, everyone was just like really quiet and very reserved, and it just had a different feeling, and I didn't feel super comfortable to be like myself.
Right.
And I had to come terms with that. And I was also just getting like burned out. You know, remember the hours were just so bad.
Yep.
Hours were bad. 12 to 9, 5 days a week.
I hated some like wintertime. It was wintertime was okay because like you could sleep in because the light would come down like at like 8 o'clock, right? But then like in summer,
Okay.
5 o'clock light time on like it's so early, and of course I don't stay up late. I go to bed like 2 hours. Like I get home, I clean myself off, I have maybe some dinner, and then like by 11, I'm in bed and sleep. Unlike some people's like, I stay up till 3 a.m. working at this company. And I was like, are you guys crazy? How are you like energetic at that time? I feel like I'm gonna pass out in the lobby. You know, I just don't get it.
So yeah, to make the story short, I just the schedule, feeling burnout. I was also getting bored because it was like the same thing every day, and I get bored like easily. So I was just kind of over it. And then COVID was happening, and like the borders would be open, they'd be closed, open, closed, you know,
Right.
And I was like, you know what? And my sister was like, she's like, we'll just pay for your ticket and you can just come back home. And then like literally right at that second, I was like, all right, I'm gonna break my contract and go home.
There's your sign right there. That was okay. Let's do this. All right.
But yeah, I had this feeling like it's just like I just needed to come back home.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. You like when you got back, I saw your Instagram. And I'm like, oh, she's doing great back home. She's like so much more energetic because you like had this period of like I'm posting stuff, I'm having a good time. You got to Otawara like 2 weeks and you're like, yay! And then like a week later, you did not seem very enthusiastic about being there.
Really?
Yeah, your posts really slowed down, and it was just like I was like, something is up.
Yeah, it was also very isolating because I felt like in Yokohama, I had like some of our training mates that I would hang out with. It was easier because we would meet up in like Tokyo, like Shinjuku or something, which was only it was like 25 minutes or something, rather than Odawara, which was like 2 hours away. You know?
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of older people. It was just a different vibe. So it was a little lonely. But I actually got really into like back into like my health.
Nice.
Diet was improving. I was working out more because I lived in the countryside. So there was like a bunch of trails to run along. And oh, by the way, apartment in the countryside was a lot bigger, and I had a view of Mount Fuji. When it was clear, I could see Mount Fuji.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
That was really cool.
I love that mountain. I love that mountain so much.
So beautiful.
When my first time, I lived in Yamanashi Prefecture. There's only one of those schools in one of the cities. But like that's the one country they share Mount Fuji with Shizuoka. In fact, if you want to climb it, the easiest trail is in Yamanashi going up.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
There you go. A little bit of advice, guys. Don't go to Shizuoka to climb it, or else you'll have a hard time.
Uh-oh. I'll get lost in the forest.
That's extremely plausible, man. You know?
You want to know, I'm kind of like sick, and I actually, on my bucket list was to go in that forest.
Oh, are you talking about Aokigahara? The suicide forest? I've been there before. Yeah. You want to hear about it?
Hey, you've been inside?
I've walked through it, yeah. I didn't go.
Oh my gosh!
I never went alone though, because like that's not smart.
I wouldn't go alone. That's too much. I would be like freaking out.
At least bring 2 to 3 people with you. You gotta have like a solid little group, because then you have a good sense of what's going on. So Aokigahara.
Oh my gosh!
It's not a scary place, but the problem with it is this: there's three reasons. Obviously, it's clearly haunted because people go there to do what they do. We all know what it is, but we're not talking about it because I don't want my Twitch channel yet. Second is that Aokigahara is so thick with trees that all look the same because the wind is so strong, it literally knocks all the other stuff down, so it's super uniform, which makes it even more creepy.
It's like everything looks the same.
Mm-hmm. And the third thing is, there's so much iron in the ground because of the volcano, Mount Fuji, that if you try and use a compass, and it will mess it up, and you will lose your direction. And if you try and use a map, there's so bad connection because of the thickness of the trees, you will get lost if you do not follow a trail or a group. So, there you go.
Oh.
But I recommend going. It's a beautiful place. Just don't go too deep into it or you'll find shit you might not want to see.
Right. And that, yeah. So I wanted to go there, and I also wanted to climb Mount Fuji, but because I left early, I didn't get to do that. So
yeah.
When I eventually visit Japan again one day, that's like literally on my to-do list.
Me too, man. Me too. I had an opportunity to climb, right? I had an opportunity, and I wanted to leave early in the morning. I was like the one who's like, guys, we gotta do this. We're living here. We gotta do this. It's so close. And then everyone decided, Nick, you want to get up too early. You want to get up at 9 o'clock and go. Like, 9 o'clock is that fucking early. And they're like, I just want to go up the mountain and down the mountain. One day, get it done. And their whole philosophy was, no, we're going to climb it at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to try and climb it in the middle of the night. And I was like... And my roommate, who had studied abroad in Japan 2 times before coming the 3rd time, who is now my best friend... he had done it already, and he was like, I'm good. He's the only one besides me who's like, I'm good. So basically what we did while they were suffering, climbing that thing, suffering from asthma, falling on rocks, having a hard time, I think I was watching BoJack Horseman, and he was just chilling on his computer watching Netflix as well. But the hour before, we were just chugging back brews, and just like, so, how do you think the others are doing? And he looks at me, he's kind of thinking, he's like, I don't think they're going to have a good time. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm staying here! And we were just like, they're like, all right, I'm going to go watch this. It's like, okay, I'm going to watch this. And then I get back and I'm watching BoJack Horseman. The new season just dropped. I was like, this is fucking fantastic. Everyone comes back the next day. It's like, it sucked, man. It was so hard. And I was like, I didn't want to say like, well, no shit. But like,
yeah,
there you go.
No shit.
I mean, I love those people. Those are some of my best friends in the world. And I'm so glad they were safe. But holy shit, was that a bad idea. Actually,
I was gonna go climb with what did we call the regional manager that would come in? Shibucho,
yeah.
Or Shibucho.
Yep.
Yeah, he was really cool. He was like the super like fit Japanese, probably like in his mid to late 40s. And we started talking, and then we were talking about Mount Fuji, and then we were like starting a group. It was going to be me and a couple other teachers, him, the manager maybe. But then COVID happened, and then they shut everything down on the mountain.
Right, they did. Yes, they did.
So we didn't go, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do one of the hard trails, and he wanted to leave at like 6 or 7 p.m. to get to the summit at
probably like 5
a.m.
3. Oh, okay.
Dude,
yeah.
Like in the
watch
middle
the
of the night,
sunrise.
watch the sunset.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's what they want. That's what we were gonna do.
I mean, go and hit that 8th station, sleep at that 8th station until 3, then climb up, and then it'll be easier because then you'll have some rest after climbing up one of the tallest mountains on the planet.
Yeah.
That's my approach if I was going to... Well, and I am planning on doing it. I want to get back to Japan and do that. Like, I'm done with cities. Like, unless I'm going to a small city in some place I've never been. For me, I've visited Tokyo enough. I've visited Osaka. I've visited Kyoto.
No.
I'm fucking good. Osaka, maybe I would go again because I fucking love that town. But
Osaka's cool.
Tokyo is just like, I'm done, man. I don't want to be here no more. It's too busy. And people are just...
It's a lot.
It's... Oh, my God. It is a lot. I mean, I love it.
Another really, really big city.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
Visit, guys. And if you live there, it's great. But I'm good on Tokyo. If I go again, if I am going with people, I'm be like, you guys enjoy Tokyo? I'm fucking off to the east. Or the west. Yeah. So, Mount Fuji. That's really cool. Is there anything like, did you go to any like festivals and stuff that you really had a fun time at when you were out there?
You know what? I actually didn't get to go to a ton because, COVID.
Right.
So a lot of the like summer festivals, I didn't really get to go because they were all shut down.
All right. Okay. I rescind my statement. I will go to Tokyo so I can go to those festivals, but that's it.
Aww.
Because like there was this one I really wanted to go to in Asakusa. It's like the international festival, and what they do is they have like the Brazilian Japanese coming in, and they're all dressed up in their garb, like kind of like little tight bikinis and the things with the feathers on the back as they're shaking their hips, and it's like doing this. I was like, I'm excited for that. I want to see that, man. That's cool, and that's like right on my stop, dude. And then like COVID, fuck, fuck this virus.
I know, right?
Yeah, dude.
This probably sounds really bad, but silver lining.
Right.
I actually remember how for foreigners they gave foreigners like $1,000 at one point.
Yes, they did.
Like,
yeah.
remember that? It was like 100,000 yen.
They gave that stimulus, baby.
Guess what? Hopefully I don't get in trouble by the Japanese government.
Why would? Hey, okay. Question.
I literally.
Did you spend it in Japan? Did you spend the money in Japan?
I went to Okinawa.
Dude, I wanted to go on that trip so bad. I just like, if things hadn't happened with my dad, I would have been there right with you guys. I would have been partying up on those beaches.
It was gorgeous. Like literally, like it was the color of my so I've been drinking.
So
my headphone case.
Yeah.
The water was like that, not like that.
Oh, that's
blue.
fun.
So
See,
nice.
I will go to Okinawa.
So
No
nice.
question. Fuck it, I will be there.
That was probably the most beautiful part of Japan that I saw was Okinawa.
There you
hands down.
go. I mean, there you go. Most Hawaii and tropical islands, dude. There's something about it that's like it pings in the brain.
Yeah.
Like this is awesome. This is awesome. I want to ask about. I want to ask about the weather there, right? Okay, so it's even more south. It's hot. How hot? How hot?
Very hot. Like it was. I don't know. I don't feel like using Celsius because, gosh, I'm so American. Even when I was there, I was like, "Fuck Celsius!" Like,
I gave Celsius. I still use Celsius. I'm like, that makes sense.
Really?
I try.
I get it from a scientific point of view, but just from like a cultural, what I'm used to.
I mean, I'm used to like but I always like to see like the comparison because I want to know because I want to be able to click into it. It's like, oh, it's feeling like it's 15. It's feeling like it's 15 degree right now. It's like shorts and t-shirt weather. Oh, it's 20.
It was probably because I went last August. This is another story.
That's gotta be hot.
I know. Yeah, it was probably like close to maybe 90 degrees.
Okay, so like 38, 37 degrees, and that's got to be 100% humidity.
Hot. With humidity. It's on an island, like literally tropical island.
Eesh.
Luckily, I was sweating balls.
I imagine no one would care if everyone was like stripping down because it's just like it's a tropical island. Who gives a shit? Oh my. Okay, so. Quick little story here. Right.
You know, Oban Week last August was Oban Week.
Yeah.
They do it every. That's like the. Do you want to tell your viewers what that is?
Okay, so everyone.
Or like I'll let the dogs in.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Obon is a holiday that Japanese people have, where everyone goes home and they kind of spend time with their family because it's like, the ancestors come back. So it's like a festival of the dead and returning them, and then it's a Buddhist thing too. And it's all about fire. There's like special things you make with like eggplants and cucumbers to have them ride in and out. And it's very, very cool little holiday. Usually there's a big drum, a taiko, and people are like, doing this.
Taiko.
And like this thing. You've probably seen it in an anime somewhere. Everyone's dressed up in kimono. It's like it's like and everyone's doing like a special little dance. I mean, I can't do it because I never went because, like, whatever. But, like, damn, is it a cool little thing. Anyway, so it's Obon.
Yeah.
It's Obon.
Okay, so it's this time of the year. People are still talking about COVID. And remember weeks prior to that holiday week, there was talk of, like, should we declare a state of emergency again? Should we not? It's always, like, up and down. Always up and down. Yes, no, yes, no. Travel, don't travel, don't travel. That was, like, the running joke, I remember. the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be fine. Like, let's just go. The flights are cheap. The hostel's cheap. So I booked everything. Kid you not, less than 48 hours later, I wake up and I watch the news, the Japanese news, and it was like Okinawa governor declares state of emergency during Obon week, and I was like, no,
Oh
all my tickets. I was freaking out. I was so upset, and then my coworkers were like, "Are you still going to Okinawa? Like, they just declared a state of emergency to prevent tourists from going there." Then I called the airline, or I called the booking agency. And then I talked to the airline. No, I talked to the booking agency. They talked to the airline. And they're like, sorry, the flight's still going on. So we can't give you your money back.
Oof. Oof.
And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go.
There you go. That's a good attitude. I like
and
that.
And then, but no, I knew going into it, a lot of the major sites were going to be closed, like certain museums, certain temples, the really famous aquarium there was going to be closed. But I had faith that the oceans would still be open.
Right.
Like, you're going to close a beach? Come on. No.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Even though they did close a lot of beaches, they closed, but like some of the islands I went to.
Right.
But before I get into that, on my way there was it was the beginning of typhoon season. So there was a typhoon traveling through the east, it was the East China Sea. I think it was traveling from China to like Korea, or it was.
Gotcha. I know exactly where you're talking about.
And it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think what happened was it was moving north towards Korea and China, and then it was passing over Okinawa because Okinawa is really very south.
It's very close to Taiwan. Yeah.
Anyway, there was a freaking typhoon happening, so there was the chance of the flights being canceled. And when we were about to board the plane, they said there's a typhoon happening, so if it gets too intense, we're gonna have to fly back to Tokyo. Yeah, and mind you, I already traveled almost 2 hours to get to Narita Airport.
Okay, time out. Why did you go to Narita instead of Haneda? Haneda would have made your life so much easier.
I think it was cheaper, honestly.
Oh no, that's so. Damn it, Japan! Why would you? Damn it, travel agency! Why would you? That's so crazy. That would have sucked. It sounds. You made it clearly because you had the experience.
I did, but we were on the plane, and I had this anxiety, like, oh my god, typhoon, don't be crazy, like, I don't want to fly back to Tokyo, I want to go to Okinawa.
Right.
And it was starting to get pretty turbulent, but luckily we made it. And I have a YouTube video on my whole Okinawa trip, and on there you can see there's some footage of like being on the plane when the typhoon was happening, like going through it.
Let me know.
It's kind of scary.
Let me know if you want me to put that on the video on YouTube and on the podcast episode, because I can put that link in so people can watch it.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, I actually have a channel on YouTube. It's Blueberry Lek.
There you go.
So I'll send you all my social links, but I have videos of some of my travels, and you can see.
Nice.
See what it's like to be in Okinawa, and during a state of emergency. Yeah, no lines, no crowds. That was really nice.
There you go. Nice.
That was cool. Silver lining.
There you go. Wonderful. All right. What else? Let's see. So vacations are cool. Yeah, I love vacationing in Japan. It was so convenient.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. It's like that's like the country to travel in. It's so easy to travel within the country. It's like all the trains, everything's so integrated.
Yep. And if you know what you can do trains, you can do night buses like the Greyhound bus in America. Mm-hmm. You can do for anyone who wants travel information, I recommend night buses, or if you want to fly, Peach Air. It's like the Southwest Airlines of Japan.
Yeah, that's who I took when I went to Okinawa.
There you go. Good price. Can I ask the price? How much was it?
For the flight, now mind you, this is during COVID, so everything was a lot cheaper.
Right.
I believe round trip it was under $300. I think it was like $236 or something cheap.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's really good. It's really good. Yeah.
Like you just
So,
see me like
and the
looking. I was like,
hostel
man.
was a good deal too.
Oh
The
yeah.
hostel was a really good price. It was a really nice hostel connected to a hotel right near the marina. It
Very
was nice.
cool. Very cool. That's a perfect place to
Hmm.
stay then. Wonderful.
Hmm.
Oh
Hmm.
wow. See, again, I want to go back, but I also don't want to stick myself to Japan. I want to see like Korea. I want to go to Taiwan.
Right?
I'm very extremely
Yeah.
cautious about going to China, but I want to go to China.
Um, Quick little thing about freaking Korea. I
Yeah.
love Korean food. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I love Japanese food, I actually, if I had to choose, if literally like right now I could snap my finger,
Go for it.
I can choose any like food. I would choose like a Korean dish.
Mm. Yeah.
I love that red sauce. What is it? That soup that Korean stew.
I know exactly what you're
What is
talking
it
about. It
called?
comes in like a hot bowl and it's steaming with the tofu and
Yeah.
what is it?
Oh, it's
Let's
so good. I think it's called like chanchi or
let's see. Let's as easy
chige.
as
It's called chige.
Chige. There you go. I love that stuff. Okay. I'm gonna be on. Okay, so I'm planning on moving back to California. This is a tangent, but it's gonna swing back into that topic. So
Okay.
when I move back to Southern California, and when I move back to Southern Cal, your dogs can be like
Yeah.
perfect time. It's like they're at the.
I babysit dogs on the side, so I'm babysitting these dogs. This
No
isn't even
worries.
my house. I house sit. It's so great. It's such a great gig.
Nice, nice.
Right.
That's the way to do it. Anyway, so I'm planning on moving back to the Orange County, LA area, the Southland,
Wow.
sometime next year, possibly.
Bless your
And
soul. I couldn't live there. That's another
it's
conversation.
where I grew up, and I know what life is
Oh, I
like.
get that. I get
So it is what it is. Trust me, I was at a friend's house the other day. I actually took a trip back to California for the 4th of July weekend.
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
I
my
want
friend's
to hear
birthday.
about that.
Okay, I'll tell you after I can finish this little point. So
Okay. Okay.
when I get back there, if you're ever in town, I will take you to K-Town or I will take you to Little Korea in Orange County, and I will get you some authentic Korean food, and we will pig out.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. And I offer this to any of my friends that aren't currently living in SoCal. Like, just let me know. I'll ask my roommates. It'll probably be cool, and we'll go
There's a
and hit shit up.
Koreatown?
Of course I do. I drove through that shit all the time when I was working as Uber. K-Town's a poppin' place. You got your fucking
What?
KBBQ. Everyone's getting that good ass food. Everyone's drinking soju, knocking it back. And of course, if I'm not doing it, then some fucking guy is, or gal, or
My God, we're
transgender
doing
person,
this.
or whatever. But like, yeah, you know. And this is to anybody I know. If you want to come to LA, let me know. I'll see if I can hook up something for you, and then I'll show you the sites because it's
God.
literally what my job was for 3 fucking years.
Sounds really good. I'm
Yeah.
excited for this.
Take you up to Griffith Park. We'll go.
We should do.
sunset.
We should stream it. We should stream it.
We should stream
It's
it.
like us like picking out.
At that point, I'll probably know like a lot more about stream. I'm a very lazy streamer. I'm a very lazy streamer, so I don't know all the fucking functions of what my thing can do. But I know if I pay for like a really high quality streaming service, and I need to get on top of using it and understanding how it all works. I got to do some like channel logistics, if it were. Anyway, so you want me to tell you about my weekend in this last weekend, huh? It's not this one, but the one before.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so the Friday of last week, the Thursday of last week, I go down to Boulder with my mom, and we're traveling around. Then we go see our friends who live up in the middle of the Rockies on like this perfect hill with this beautiful view of a valley, like just like it's gorgeous,
Cool.
it's brilliant. But then I get there. And I'm so anxious because of the plane possibly canceling because I flew American. I couldn't sleep the night before, so I had all this
I'm kinda
anxious
known
like
for that.
adrenaline. Yeah, it sucks. Anyone who has insomnia, that shit's horrible, and I feel for you in my heart because I know I have it sometimes.
That's what weed's for.
Well, weed isn't legal in Wyoming, so I'm not allowed to smoke it.
Wait, it's not?
No, but it is in Colorado.
shit.
And a lot of people just go down
Yeah.
there and get it, and it's on the sly. But I've actually quit.
Good for you, Nick.
Yeah, I'm like this is day 8 or 9, and I'm actually getting to bed
Ew.
in 20 minutes, so I'm really happy about it. Once I get back to California, it will become a habit that I use a lot less. But yes. Anyway, so I get out there, and my buddy picks me up. I go to his house. I conk out for about 5 or 6 hours on his couch, which will be my bed for that weekend. And I get to sleep immediately because I've already partied there and passed out on that couch. So it's like, I know this is a good place to sleep. I wake up. We go to the party for his girlfriend, who's another good friend of mine. She's turning 23, 24, I think. Everyone, these people are younger than me. I'm like the old man of the group.
Wants to get lit.
I'm the old man of the group in that group. Just like I was like one of the old men, except for Alex in our group.
Aww. Do you still talk to Alex, by the way?
Once in every great while. And I mean, it's easy because I can communicate with Ashlyn, who I introduced. Okay, so you know how that thing that happened with my dad and that thing? I actually introduced them because of that.
Wow.
So something positive came out of something negative, which is why I say, life is funny. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
Anyway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I try and keep a communication with him. I want to have him on the podcast, but like, it's hard with the time frame. There's
hard.
With Alex, I don't know if he's gaming at home or if he's out having drinks, but with Ashlyn, it's like every other night she's out at a bar. I just have to check her Instagram. It's like, yeah, she's knocking it back with like some 46-year-old Japanese guy she met at her work. And it's like, oh, okay, there you go. And she's singing random like Okinawan songs. And I'm hearing it. I saw it just to disappoint it. I was like, okay, is this an Okinawan bar? Okay, very nice. And she's like, sasa! And I was like, whoa!
What the?
That's like the strong Okinawan belt. Like if you hear that in a song, it's like, this is not a Japanese song. This is an island song from there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I like the folk music with the special guitar. It's like made out of like snake skin or something.
The shamisen, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the shamisen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful instrument. I really want to learn how to play it. And that's just an honest.
I played it before when I was in Okinawa. I was in the taxi cab and I was really drunk, and I was with some people that I met, and then we were like, "You have a shamisen in the back?" He just had it in his car.
That's hilarious.
He was really cool too. And then when he went to drop us off, he's like, "You want to play?" Like his cute little accent, and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, okay, so he started playing, and then I recorded him, and then I started playing it.
Nice.
I have it on video. Maybe I should put it on YouTube.
Yeah, dude, you should. And then people can watch it when they go to your channel after seeing the link.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I keep distracting you. Okay,
oh, no worries.
Your story.
All right, so I get to the party, everything's fun, I do some divination, I give some readings, I'm having drinks, I'm having a good time. And I basically I stopped what my dieting was. Just like, fuck it, I'm in town and I'm just gonna relax, and it's fine. I've already put off the weight I put on when I was back there, so it's good stuff. I'm actually low. Yeah, it's good stuff. Now, the second day, I go with my buddy, and he's Hispanic, so we go to this little South LA. That's where we were. It was nice. It's totally fine, and we go to his cousin's place. And they launch fireworks for 3 hours straight, just randomly in the streets, and it's amazing. It's like lights are fucking going everywhere. You can see it all around us because everyone has fireworks. It was a hell of a time. Yeah. And then the next morning, I came back home. It was a great little trip. I really had fun.
This was very short.
Yeah, it's very easy, very quick, very fun.
So, I feel like let's talk about. I know you're the host, but why don't we talk about some culture shock versus reverse culture shock? I want to hear your.
Okay. So first things first. I'll tell you about my culture shock when I went back to college, because the culture shock I got, I guess I could say I had culture shock coming back to here, because I've never lived where I currently am now, so I could say that too. My first culture shock in Japan was how wonderful the public restrooms were, because the doors go all the way to the ground, and they go a foot or so above where a tall person would stand.
It's more privacy. There's more privacy.
It feels like you can shit in peace. It feels like you can shit in peace. The sex thing. The next thing is having that warm water shoot up your ass. Yeah, no, it's like shooting up your ass, and you don't have to wipe as much. Because my apartment had the toilet with the water feature, right?
You had a bidet?
I had a bidet in my apartment, yes.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Both of my apartments that I lived at in Japan, they were both older, and they didn't have bidets. I was so upset.
That sucks. I'm just going to say that. That sucks. All I can say is that my apartment had fiber internet. It didn't have a kitchen. It had like a stovetop that you had to plug in and a sink.
Yeah, like a Bunsen burner.
No, it was literally. So basically I was eating from 7-Eleven all the time, just nuking it in the microwave. But I still lost weight that way. But
all the sweating.
But that thing, it had the heater and it had the cooler on the toilet and it had the thing. When I got back to America, my ass was so... Okay, did you not have a heater on your toilet? Did you have to go bare... Really? I lucked out, clearly! My apartment was the shit.
Is it rude if I eat on this podcast?
Go ahead. I do not mind. I do not mind at all. Okay. You'll trigger all the ASMR nerds, and they'll be really happy about it. So, okay, so I love that. But the minute I get back to America... I get my first Mexican...
Bathroom,
my favorite... Yeah, it's the bathroom. I walk in, and I sit down on the toilet, and I literally I jump up because my ass is so cold because I've gotten used to being pampered because my ass is all warm in the winter. And this is when I was studying abroad. It was December in Southern California. The average temperature was easily in the high 60s. I sit my butt down to the porcelain. It's like, holy shit! It's so fucking cold! And then I had to use like a bunch of tries. Like, this is so fucking unhygienic. Why the fuck is America living in the Middle Ages? Yeah, and that's how I felt. That's my biggest culture shock. And then like having like that post being abroad kind of depression some people have for a month. I had that my first time. But coming back to America, I was so scared of being in a conservative place during COVID where everyone thinks it's a fucking hoax. That I stayed in my basement, which is why I started this podcast, and it's called What It Is. I stayed in my basement for a good couple of months, and if I ever went out, I'd be like once a month I'd go to the grocery store with my mom because I'm living with her at the moment, and I'm just like, this is fucking scary. No one's wearing a mask in here. What the fuck is going on? It's crazy. How about you? So. My biggest culture shock was the toilets and the fact that you have to hang up your clothes to dry. That was weird.
Oh, I didn't like that. I got used to it.
Yeah,
you get used to it. Like when I moved there, I would say, like the toilet thing. That's
the thing. Everyone likes that bit.
Yeah. It was tough for me to not smile to strangers, actually. When I got there, I would remember our last day of training, like that night before they gave us our pins.
Right.
And they told us about the whole 2 mask thing.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to tell your viewers about that really quick while I heat up some chicken tenders?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Or at least I think I might. So, I think what she's referring to is the idea of tate mae and honne. So there's this idea that Japanese people, I don't want to call them two-faced, but because that's like very negative looking at it. So they have this policy of having what they present to people in public. This is their public face, very professional, very down, like polite, maybe sometimes helpful, but very private. You don't really get into anyone's way. You're not friendly. Yeah, you're not very exactly. She said it's not very friendly with people. But when you befriend them, you get that true face, that honne, which is literally the word for true. That sounds like the character for true is in it. That true face. And this is it can be fun. They like to drink. They're having a good time. Maybe they smoke. They're chilling. They like disco or something. All Japanese. If you are a hobbyist and your hobby does not work in your country, go to Japan. There is at least 10 people who like the hobby that you like. These people love their hobbies to death. You will find it. So that honen tatemae. When you're at business, you got to keep that public face on. But when you're in private and you're not representing anything, you know, your suit's not on, you're not wearing your school uniform, you're not representing anything, your company's stuff isn't on you, you can be as free as you want as long as with your friends and you're not like making a ruckus for other people. And you have to know how to balance that shit. Because that's like a big cultural thing that a lot of people, you know, when they go to Japan, maybe they don't know this stuff. So it's good for you to learn it because sometimes it might like take you for a trip. So be very careful about that. And I think
that's good.
Was that it? Because I was like thinking it's like.
That was it. That was a good. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
That made sense.
Because I was like worried it's like 2 mask thing. It's like it's either that or like did we have to wear 2 masks when we were working with COVID? What the fuck?
No, I meant like a psychological thing. So anyway, so when they told us that, I was like, you know what, that makes sense because prior to the trainers telling us that, I would smile at random people on the street because that's just what I do because I'm a friendly person.
Right.
In America, like if I see a cute baby, I'm like, oh, cute. Oh,
right.
Hey.
Right.
And I noticed when I was doing that before the last day of training, I would get weird looks.
Probably like the look you get like.
And it's just like actually most of it was just unresponsive.
Right.
I'd like smile and then they just look at me.
Yeah.
Then just do their thing, or they wouldn't make any eye contact.
Right.
Like strangers on the street.
Yeah.
Or if I saw a cute baby, they would just be like, whatever.
Right.
I'm just gonna shop.
So
I was kind of like, why is everyone so like sad here? Like they're so, why aren't they like out like me? And then they told us about what you were just explaining to your viewers, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. So then after that, this is when I was trying to like assimilate myself. And over time, I'd balance it out based on the situation. If it was like a cute young couple and they had a cute baby, and this is like later on, like you know, after like 6 months of living there, I would feel comfortable enough to just like talk to them or be like, oh my god, your baby's so cute. But there was a while where I was like, okay, I want to be like. I want to have my public face, and I was like overthinking it. But then, after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like be me, and if people are like mad because I smile, then that's their problem.
They don't care.
You know? I think that was like the main thing. I was like, after a while, I was like, I'm just gonna be me.
That's fine.
But not be rude.
Right.
You know, try not to.
That's
be rude.
the thing. Don't be rude.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you got to do. Don't be rude. Figure out what's polite. Stick to that, and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be loud.
It also depends on the person.
That's true. Some people have a hard time in Japan. Some people have a really hard time in Japan. Other people, they get along like... It just depends. It just depends. I mean, like, and what's funny was, like, you talked about a training thing that they told you at the beginning. What they told me in the training is, like, they brought in all the people who had been, like, to Japan before, right?
I remember that. They brought you guys to another room.
Yeah. And they said to the people who had been to Japan before, it's like, all right, guys. So, you have experience in this country. You know what it's about. You know what life is like, right? And we're like, yeah, of course, right? Yeah, we know. And then they said to us, do not feel obligated to be the tourist leader. Do not feel like you have to be obligated to lead everyone around like you're the leader and have to show everyone. And I was like, that's interesting. And then when they pulled us aside for the 3 people who had taught before, which was... myself and an internship while I was studying abroad. I'm pretty sure she streams on Twitch right now. She has like 400, 500 followers at this point. She's an affiliate. I'm trying to remember her name. She worked in Shiba. Do you remember her?
Oh, Amy?
Yeah, Amy. So she was cool. Yeah, she's a very nice person. I still talk to her on occasion when I see her on streams. She does a lot of Hearthstone stuff. But lastly, and then the third person was, I think, the guy who also worked in Yokohama with you, but at a different school. We're one of them.
Oh, Ian.
Yeah.
There was Ian and I think David or...
It was either David or Ian, I think they pulled out. And they're like, listen, you just got to follow our method instead of teaching the way you've taught. So it was like interesting when they would pull people aside depending on their experiences. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Training was interesting. I'd have a lot easier time this time going around. It's like, fuck, I want to go back to the company, right? I wouldn't have a problem because I already know what to do. I used to work for you guys.
Would you work for that company again?
Would I work for that company again? Yes, but I'd have a stipulation. Do not stick me in Tokyo. Do not stick me in a big school. Stick me in a medium to small school, and I'll be down. Because I was originally supposed to come about a month earlier, but then I messed up the call, and I was supposed to be in Aomori, up in the far north. And
what? Wait, it's like the northernmost part of Japan.
It's the northernmost part of the main island,
Whoa.
yeah. But then that didn't work out. So they stick me where they did stick me, and I was going to like a small to medium school, and they stuck me in they put me in the largest school outside of the Tokyo area, and it was so hard, and I was like not prepared for it, and I finished my contract, damn it, and I'm proud that I did, because I could have easily done what I know one or two people did, where they quit after 3 months. I saw myself possibly doing. Literally, I was like in my second month, I was miserable. I was like, oh my god, I'm doing horrible. I'm really miserable here. I don't enjoy what I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm connecting to my coworkers at all. I'm just having a bad time. But then my coworkers sit me down and I explain this to them. It's like, dude, just don't worry about it. It's okay. You can do what you want. And it's like, but we want you to finish, man. Come on, stick with us. We need you. And like I said, I'll finish the contract. And I feel fantastic that I finished the contract.
Good. Yeah, you did it.
And then they offered me 3 months, and I was like, no, thank you. And then they said, we can't really get new people in, Nick. Would you be willing to do the contract? I was like, no, thank you. And then one of my coworkers was like, I will buy your plane ticket out, your $1,000 ticket out from under you to stay here. And I was like, save your money, man. I'm good. I just want to go home.
Aww.
Yeah, I mean, it was an experience, and I learned.
It was a great experience. Yeah, I learned a lot, and I would not take it back. But yeah, there were definitely some tough times. Again, for the thing for me was the hours. I just getting home so late every day. I'd get home at almost 10 p.m.
Right.
Tuesday. What was it? Tuesday through Saturday. Also, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, it was
I had
bizarre.
to work Tuesday through Saturday.
I like some of the smaller schools. They just stick to that strict schedule instead of having some teachers are on Mondays as well instead of Saturdays, and these people do that. Like they got this Japanese staff and the not the foreign staff working on the same schedule at some of the schools in Western Japan. I was like, why can't that happen here? Why can't that happen at my school? I like these people. I want to spend every day with them, and I want to talk to my students. And it's like, but I wouldn't talk to anyone about that because what can you do? Oh shit! Do you still keep in contact? I want to ask this: do you still keep in contact with anyone who's still working out there? For example, like Lauren or
Lauren.
Who's still out there? Lauren is.
Yeah, Lauren and I, we didn't really talk a lot. She's a sweet girl, but no, we don't really keep in contact anymore. I deleted my Instagram for a while, my old Instagram. I regret it because I had a lot of cool content on there. But I was mad at Instagram for a while. I was like, I'm over social media, and then after a month.
Welcome back, baby. There you go.
Yeah. But it's kind of nice having a brand new account. But yeah, I don't really in touch with a lot of people anymore, unfortunately, with the time difference.
Right. Is there...
Also I got a new iPhone, and I freaking switched over. I deleted all the content off my old iPhone because I wanted to sell it.
Right.
But dumb me, I didn't transfer my my line contacts.
I understand that completely.
All of my line contacts.
Yep. Out the way.
Do you want to tell your viewers what line is really quick?
All right. So anyone who's watching, I know there's one person, but they're not talking. So, and to anyone who's going to be listening to this or watching this later on YouTube, Line is like WhatsApp. It's Japanese WhatsApp. Yeah. And basically a lot of people just make their calls popular. With the Line. It's like the main messaging service in Japan. It's spread out.
So popular.
It's very popular. People don't even ask you for your phone number. They're like, "Can I get your line connected?" Yeah. That's what they say.
Can I get your line? That's how much it's integrated in their society. So anyway, I freaking lost all my line contacts. So Alex, Mel, all of our training mates. Right. I have to find them on my new Instagram, and I lost their line. So I'm like,
well, I mean, you should use my.
I'm glad we.
Yeah, you should use my Instagram. My Instagram's directly connected My Instagram has all theirs, so I recommend that.
Sorry.
Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna look for old trees through Instagram.
For sure. There you go. Now, is there anyone who moved back to their home country that you have in contact with? Like, obviously me. Is there anyone else? Or is it just like just me?
I'm trying to think.
Like Nate, for
Just
example.
you.
Just me. There you go.
Oh, Nate! I should.
You should
Here,
send
I'm
him.
actually right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me look. Let me look on your Instagram right now.
He's in there. I just go to who I follow, and I apologize for you having to sort through all of some of the. I follow some interestingly racy pages on Instagram though. Like that's my private and like the one I. Yeah, so you might see like, oh, interesting, Nick. Oh, I see. That's what you like.
Nate.
But Nate's in there. Let me see here. I can even give you his like Instagram handle right now because I'm actually talking with him. Yeah. Let me just send it to you over Insta.
Send it to me. I want to talk to him.
Okay, and there's that.
Oh my gosh, do you have a toaster oven at your house?
I do.
So random.
I do not have a toaster oven.
What?
We just have a regular toaster because we have an oven.
Toaster oven. Toaster oven is such a game changer though because it doesn't make the house all hot and it's like really fast.
I mean, I wouldn't say that our oven makes it that hot, but like, okay, I mean, I get that. Then again, we have an electric oven for sure. So that's
anyway, I love the toaster oven. It's really convenient, and I'm baking some like little chicken tenders, and they smell so good.
Oh, we have an air fryer though.
I've been drinking, so I have like a little bit of munchies right now, and like my go-to drinking food is chicken nuggets.
Nice. That's good.
It's not
That's
the
a good
healthiest, but it's fucking delicious.
Yeah, I get that. I really do. All right, so I have a question for you. So we were talking about culture shock. What did you experience for culture shock? And maybe like reverse culture shock, like things you were surprised by coming back to America. And then I'll say my reverse culture shock after.
I mean, like culture shock in Japan?
Culture shock in Japan, and then having lived in Japan, culture shock you would have from how Americans do things. Like, oh, wow, I didn't even recognize that we do that. Because like you've lived in a foreign country for a while.
Wow. Okay. That's a great question. So yeah, going there, you know, of course there's like the big stuff, like the walking everywhere. That was really nice. Like I actually really miss that. I miss walking everywhere. That was really cool. And it's like in Japan, and the lifestyle's so different because you go from like train to train, you're walking to different train stations, you're meeting your friends at train stations. So that was like, I was like, oh, this is like a cool, like, it's just it has a very like communal vibe. Like it's like a hive, you know, everyone's like the hive moving together.
Yeah, you're following the blob from one train to the other and like going.
Yeah, and there was a time when sorry, these dogs literally bark at everything. Okay, guys, shut up. Okay, so yeah, so like I love the communal aspect of that. And not having to worry about a car. That was really neat. And of course, like I said earlier, the private face, public face, that was a big shocker to me.
Right. Okay.
And then what else? The shoe thing. The shoe thing at first was kind of annoying, but then after a while I liked it. Like I actually now kind of goes back into entering America again.
Yeah.
But when I go in a home and I have my shoes on, I feel like a dirty bad guest. Like I feel like the right thing to do is like to take off your shoes, especially if they have carpet. When I'm walking on carpet with shoes on, I feel so rude.
Right.
Like I'm like, this is not right. This is not right. And I actually just moved into a new apartment a couple weeks ago, which I'm really happy about.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Again, my mom's house. I was like, never again.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, I got an apartment, car, like I'm setting myself up. So, my apartment, I actually don't want people wearing shoes.
Right.
So it's a strict no shoe rule, unless you're like a plumber or something and you're like going in and out of the house. But for the most part, Yeah, and I just feel like that's like it's respect, you know? Like we carry so much dirt on our shoes. So like that is something that when I came back, people just go into houses like nothing with their
Yeah.
dirty shoes.
Yes.
And I'm like, why do people do that? And then again, the bathroom thing. We don't have to go over that again. But
Right.
and then also just psychologically, Americans were very we can be really loud and like have no care for other people around us, which I'm just
Yes.
like, that's annoying. Whereas in Japan, people are so like careful
Oh yeah.
of what they do around other people. They just being mindful of their actions and having like situational awareness. Whereas
Yes.
I feel like a lot of Americans lack here. And they're just like, I'm just gonna listen to a podcast or music really loud in public. And it's like, you
That's
just don't
very
do that.
annoying. Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's actually a phrase for that in Japanese, and it's and it people some people can do it and some people can't. It's called kuki o yomu.
Mhm.
It's the ability to read the air. It's like understanding the situation, which is exactly what you
Uh-huh.
said. And if
Yeah.
you don't know
Yeah.
how to read the air, you are a very rude person in Japan. I
Mhm.
learned how to read the
Mhm.
air, which is why when you see me go into Japan, like everyone's like having a good time, I'm like just walking along. I'm not talking that much. Giving everyone their space.
Mhm.
I'm putting it. I'll get my own spot. If there's like a bunch of seats on, I sit on the farthest end, so there's a lot of room for me between them. Because I know people don't want
Mhm.
to sit next to the gaijin. That's totally cool. I don't mind that. If I see an old lady,
Actually,
there you go. Sit down, please. I'm giving you my seat. There you go. I have another thing for you though. So in Japan,
sure.
in some places in homes, for example, they have
Mhm.
bathroom shoes.
Ah, yeah, that was kind of cool. I like that.
I like bathroom shoes too, because like think about it. In the bathroom, that's a really dirty ass place. So it makes sense to slip into some slippers that are only for that room, and then you take them off, and then your feet aren't dirty, spreading around all the germs in your house.
Yeah, it's all about. Yeah, I like that. Japan is such a. They're very like, in a way, they're a very like purist society. Like they want things very like orderly and like predictable and
Yep,
clean.
yep.
And it's just one of the things that makes it stands out.
That's people like to think, and because I study Japanese history, I think you'll like this. Will see something you can learn too. Is that
Mhm.
people like to think like, oh yeah, the Japanese have always been very quiet and very like they're all working together and they're not complaining and stuff. No, that's only because of after World War II that everyone was like, we
Oh.
gotta work together and we gotta build the country back up and we gotta make the economy strong again and no more military so we can't. Japan before during World War II and before there were like individuals were like crazy like they didn't give any fucks. They're like making companies. They're doing crazy ass shit. Crime was high. Fucking, they're like, oh, dude, we're like amazing.
Oh.
And then like, shit humbled them. So, there you go. But like, fucking wild. Like people
Oh.
don't even realize like Japan is a culture that's steeped in tradition that forces them to follow in the group. No, it's like the samurai thing. Everyone thinks samurais are noble.
Yeah.
Samurais are not noble. If you had a samurai before the Edo period when they were supposed to be like officials, the whole thing of a samurai would be like, how much money and land can I get and who do I have to kill to get it? Who do I have to backstab to get it? Who do I have to do this to get it? I want my money, fucker. I want my money. That's a samurai. Samurai were just like, they're straight up bandits until like, they're like, all right,
Oh.
we're controlling the whole country. It's like, oh shit, we can't be bandits anymore. This fucking sucks. I gotta be a pencil pusher. Oh, jeez, man. And then, of course, they're like, okay, now we have these rule code where you have to be following these rules. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, you're at the top of the society. You get a lot of rice. Well, that's cool, I guess. You can get drunk with prostitutes. Oh, okay, I'll do my job. And that's the samurai after, like, the end of the wars. And, like, if anyone who knows Japanese history hears me say that, they're like, this guy's fucking spot on. But if there's any of those, like, oh, Japan is the best country in the world and samurai were the best warriors on the world, they're going to be like fucking, their nuts are going to explode and their brain's going to like fucking expand out like they didn't understand it. But like, I studied that shit. Samurai were greedy fuckers until like they were put in their place. It's very interesting. Very interesting. There's a
Wow.
book about it and it's literally called The Taming of the Shrew or like The Taming of the Samurai. And it's literally like going from like crazy wild child bastards of the nobility out in the countryside shooting arrows at shit to look at me with my long pants and my 2 swords walking around really slow like, looking all dignified with my hair up like this. It's a very, very...
It's like
it's
shaved with like a ponytail.
Exactly. It's a very strange evolution. Very strange. You guys got to watch some videos on it. It's like you'll be a little wowed, like, holy shit, I did not know that. But you got to respect them, though. The samurai did fight off the Mongols twice. I mean, the first time was because of a natural disaster. And the second time was mostly because of a natural disaster. But they did a good job.
Yeah.
China didn't beat the Mongols. China got bitch slapped.
Wait, why don't you talk a little bit about that while I get my nuggets? Okay?
All right, you get your chicky nuggies. I will talk about it. Guys, the Mongols were fucking scary. They knew what to do to take over towns. They knew what to do if they couldn't get into a place to just terrorize everybody. There's a reason why they had the largest empire in the world. It was so big, they had to break it up into 4 still massive empires. And they took over from all the way from Korea down to India and in Iran, all the way out close to Europe with the Mediterranean, conquering very close to the Levant, where Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Syria is today. And they conquered all the way up to Russia. And they basically stopped kind of near Poland because they're like, this is kind of a little too far. We're a little fucking tired. We gotta go take care of some shit. The Mongols are fucking scary. There's a reason why, if you're from the Eurasian continent, you're probably like 20 times cousin with someone in another part of that entire continent. Because Genghis Khan, he fucked a lot of people. Genghis Khan was a player. I mean, they didn't go with him willingly. He was a rapist, but like that guy got around. There's a reason why people look similar across that thing. It's got that Mongol DNA. Fucking crazy. Anyway, that's my bit on the Mongols. They're really cool fucking civilization. But, you know what happened to the Mongols? They all got drunk, got diabetes, and then the native populations took over their shit. Because they were like, this is fucking silly. Why? Of course, another cool thing about the Mongols is that they were people descended from Genghis Khan who were still ruling parts of Central Asia until about the 1900s. Or maybe even the 1800s. A little earlier. So, you know, that shit lasted in some places. So... there you go. Mongols.
Wish I could share these with you, Nick.
I wish I could too. Technically, I still have the calories to be able to eat them, but unfortunately, you're in Arizona and I'm in Wyoming.
So I want to hear a little bit about Wyoming. Like the culture shock within America. When you moved from Japan, you moved directly to Wyoming, right?
Yeah. So I got into Denver, and my family was already here, so I moved into that with them. And the culture is... so, first and foremost, I come from the suburban landscape, and my mom is from suburbia, and my dad is from suburbia. People out here really channel their country pride, even though this is a suburban city. Oh, by the way, do you want to know how... this is the biggest city in this state. You want to know how many people live here?
How many?
61,000 people. That's like a small town in any other part of America. The town we drove through to get to where I just posted my Instagram pictures today at Fort Laramie, which is a historic site with the Mormon Trail, the Oregon Trail, the California Trail, and the Pony Express.
Cool. Very
cool place. It was very hot that day we went. Anyway, so the town we drove through, the first one we drove through was 2,000 people. A little over 2,000 people. The next town we went through, right next to the Laramie thing, Fort Laramie, which is called Fort Laramie, the population was 203 people live in that town.
God, it's so tiny.
Could you imagine, like, a town that small? Literally everyone would know who you are, and everyone would be able to see what you're doing, because, like, you have no privacy because it's so small. It's a little horrifying.
Oh, it's too small.
Like, my therapist was from a small town, who I'm seeing now, and he tells me, it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm anonymous in this city. And I looked around, I was looking quizzically at him, and I thought, guess if you live in a place where there are places where there's 200 people in a town, yeah, 61,000 people is a pretty big place. I wouldn't call it big. Comparatively, yes. But yeah, but the culture shock. My first realization of the culture shock was the fact that no one was wearing masks. And there was like, if I get the COVID, I'll be fine. I'll just sweat it out and get it on my day. My brother caught COVID. And he had to quarantine for 2 weeks. And, like, we couldn't see him. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh, shit, is my brother going to die? And he survived.
Oh, no.
And he still hasn't gotten his vaccine. But at this point, I don't give a shit. He'll get it when he gets it. And if he doesn't and he gets hospitalized, fuck him. Whatever. I'll visit him. Because I'm vaccinated. I'm not going to have to worry about being hospitalized. Plus, I still wear a mask because of that Delta variant. But the fact that everything was open... And the fact that people are going into places without masks, or like they're like, okay, the average person with a mask on in Wyoming, they got their big honking nose sticking out of it. I don't know, with a big, it's like, oh yeah, I'm masked up, I'm ready to go, right? And I just like, trigger, back to the basement. I'm not going out for a month. I'm just sitting with my books, and it was just, that was frustrating. But I will say this. I love the nature. I love the nature out here. It's gorgeous. I get to see the sunset.
Tell me about the nature.
Oh, it's beautiful. The mountains, the Rocky Mountains are an hour away. There's a bunch of state parks. You can go hiking, fishing, mountain biking. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I think that and the environment, the clean air are the things I'm going to miss the most about this place. And of course, the event that's coming out, which is the claim to fame for this town, is the Cheyenne Frontier Days, which is the largest rodeo event on the planet. Yeah.
You going?
I don't have tickets to see the rodeo, but like I'm probably gonna drive by it. I'm definitely gonna go one day and just have a drink and like have multiple drinks. And just travel around, like walk around. You'll see me post on Instagram. I'll be like, do like little Instagram lives, like, "Oh my god, guys, just so many people around, but it's so fun." And I said, I don't have to worry about the thing, but I'm very worried about an outbreak. But yeah, and it's really cool. They really channel their culture here. I like the library, the downtown's really cool. There's a bunch of bars. Literally, there's like a trolley that will take you around the around like the downtown to go to the different bars. So you can ride like a 1910 trolley, just like boom, boom, and it'll like zip you around town to like different breweries, and that's cool. I haven't done it yet because I'm still I've been working really hard on my internet stuff. I will tell you this: have I gotten a real job where I earn money yet? No, but I have gotten my connections. I have my CV all written up. And literally tonight, I'm just applying for jobs after our interview. So I'm feeling good. I got my personal life in order before I jump back into the professional. That's what I've been doing. That's important.
I can tell you're like glowing. You have a look like internally and externally you look healthy. That's the most important. You've been working on yourself. And I know you went through a lot.
Yes.
So
last year was a traumatic year, man. I mean, for a lot of people. But like I got like emotionally hit by like a truck. It was a fucking.
I can't even imagine. Year. I'm so sorry.
Listen, it's all good, and I'm still working through it. It's a process, but like I'm very healthy about it now. But yeah, thank you. I really do appreciate that, Alexis. It's really, really something that I appreciate. So yeah, but other than that, what else? Oh, Colorado being so close is cool because I can like be in Denver in an hour. Which is a fun city.
Wait, what? Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
There's some ASMR for your viewers. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You were going to burp, and I was like, oh my God. Now people will be viewing this and listening to this for different things now. I mean, I'm getting more views and listens, but maybe for the wrong stuff. There you go.
I should go on Discord more. Just eat in front of people.
Eat in front of people and just like, do the thing.
Isn't there a Korean term for that? Do you know what it's called?
Mukbang. It's where people watch people eat food. And the funny thing is, I know people who do that. In real life, I know people and I've seen them watch them eat food. Like there are Japanese little like Asian women that eat like huge fucking honks of food, and they're piling it down, and it's like, holy shit, this exists, and they still It's crazy. The internet is weird, but it's a wonderful place. It's like an anarchic paradise.
I was gonna look something. Oh, okay, Wyoming. Yeah. I nerd out over geography.
Yes.
So I want to know where Wyoming is. Like I know approximately where it is, but I want to know like exactly.
It is one of the 2 square states, and it is the square state above the other square state.
Holy moly, that is so square.
Right?
It's like the most square state.
It is the most, like, Wyoming is even more square than, like, Denver is. I mean, not Denver, Colorado. But there's a lot of great stuff. For example, where is Yellowstone?
Oh, wow.
Wyoming. Yellowstone's in Wyoming.
Beautiful. I've been, okay, so I have been to Wyoming. I've been to Yellowstone.
There you go. I'm actually planning
what part
on...
of Wyoming?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, me and my mom are planning on taking a road trip up to Yellowstone, and we're going to drive through one of the Indian reservations and buy some stuff there, and maybe do some gambling on the way up. So, because we want to, I want to pay for the tribes because, like, I don't know, white guilt, I guess. I don't know. I'm a historian, so like I know the shit people go through, and like, I'm a patriot. I believe in the values of America, but I recognize its faults, and that's why I want to make it better. That's why I fucking hate nationalism, because all I think of is the past was the best, and the farther we go back, the better. I swear, and this is my opinion. This is a hot take. I don't know what you're gonna think about it, but in my opinion, if some Republicans got their way, I bet you they'd try and bring slavery back. I'm not shitting you.
No.
Oh, fuck yeah. They'd be like, we'd save so much money on labor costs. They'd use some crazy fucking economic thing to do it.
So illegal. No, we can't do that.
That's not true. Slavery does exist in America still. It's just we call them an imprisoned population, which is why we have the highest prison rate in the world.
Wow. I do think incarceration here, that's like a whole...
It's a whole other ballgame. That's a whole other topic.
Thing, yeah.
Listen, that will be a whole episode in and of itself.
Right?
I mean, if I get canceled for it, I'm glad to be canceled because I know it's going to be some dickhead, like, fucking fascist who says that. It's like, how dare you say that America was bad? I was raised in this country, and I know it from the depths of my heart that this place is the God-given thing. It's like, guy, my ancestors... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
All I'm going to say is that every country, every place has its faults. No place is perfect. You know what I mean? It's like, let's just try to be better. Let's learn from our past mistakes and let's try to be better.
Right.
That's how I view it.
Here's the thing. We're the best out of a worse situation, in my opinion. Think about this. We're the only country in the world, not even Europe, that allows for transgender people to exist and represent themselves in public. They don't get sent to the gulags like they do in Russia. We're the only country in the world where it's not stigmatized anymore to have a gay couple be married. Even in places like Spain, they literally, a couple weeks ago, Spain made it illegal for gays to apply for marriage certificates. We're the best country in the world on social issues. Even though we keep stripping them away, the fact we have so many, it's easy. I mean, what's the problem is they're tied to morality and stuff, which is a bit silly on my part, in my opinion, but whatever. But yeah, listen, we're not great, but we're not horrible, and there's still a lot of bad shit, and I want to fix that. But I'm just a guy.
For sure.
And okay, can I do a little diatribe, if you will, just say something?
Go for it.
So, if you are a person who gets worked up by seeing a news story, and you constantly see it flashing through, I get it, guys. I was there. I used to feel deep pain because of seeing the news and what's going on in the world. You gotta cut that shit off. You gotta cut that shit off. It's making your life horrible.
It affects you. It affects you.
It affects you hard. Take a step back and divorce yourself from the emotion of it. Then you can process it more healthily and with a rational mind. Because if you're constantly in it, you're going to have a really shitty time of existence. And that's not fun at all.
Very true.
That's just a mental health tip I found from going to therapy for the past 2 months. So there you go.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, let's swing back to something more positive.
Sure, yeah.
So, I think a great question for you right now would be this. Let's say that, poof, COVID-19 has disappeared from the world. Everyone is vaccinated. We're back to I don't want to say normal because we're definitely going to be changed, but things will be open again for everybody, right? If you had the money and the time to go anywhere in the world traveling, where would you like to go and why?
It's a really good question. I would want to go to... So the first country that popped in my head is New Zealand.
Okay.
I still really want to go
okay,
there.
that's top of the list for me as well. That's like, yeah, I get that. 100%.
I vibed really well with Australia, and something about the oceanic region of the world that I'm just really fascinated by. Even when I was really little, I actually wrote myself a note. No, I was in Girl Scouts, and one of our little projects was to write a biography of your life at that time. It was like 8, and then what your life would be like in the future.
Right.
And I put in there that I will live in Australia and hang out with bobcats, even though bobcats live in Arizona. But I just wrote that down. It was cool because when I was moving out, when I was packing up my stuff to move to Australia, I found that note I wrote myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to Australia. This is literally what I wanted to do when I was little.
Like this is how I feel right now. This is how I feel right now because that's
Yeah.
very similar to me with Japan. So like that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So New Zealand is also like it's so close to Australia, so I feel like I want to explore there too.
For sure.
And it's known for its beautiful mountains and oceans and rivers, just the landscape. I really want to go there, and also I really want to go to the UK.
Okay, very
Always
nice.
wanted to go to the UK too.
Nice. Yeah, for me, definitely I want to visit Europe. I don't know about France, but I want to really visit Germany. I'm German, so like
I really want to go to Germany too.
Yeah, I hear great things. And Scandinavia would be good. Britain, I'd just like to travel Europe. Like, give me a month and I'll just hop trains and travel around the continent.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
But another place I'd really like to visit is Jordan. My coworker, he went to Jordan and he was showing me pictures of like Petra, like the giant temple that's built in like the sandstone rock that's like centuries old, like before the Romans I'm talking about, like thousands of years.
Whoa.
And like,
okay.
And it's just like, it sounds like a really cool time. Plus Jordan is like the most moderate Arab country. Like they don't have crazies in Jordan. They have crazies in Saudi Arabia. And like, they have crazies in like Libya and fucking Egypt. Jordan, they got a king and he's like, Westernization is cool. Our Islam is very chill. We're very moderate. We're having a good time. I'm fucking going to Jordan. The king of Jordan is a badass because he is a air pilot and he's a fighter pilot guy. And when ISIS started trying to invade them, he got in his plane. He got in his war jet and he flew up with a squadron and he attacked them. Like, I'm not saying like I like war, but it's like badass that the leader of your country's like, nah, I'm gonna fucking lead a fucking attack on these people who are attacking
He literally led an attack. Like that.
Yeah, he's like leading a squadron of fighter jets, getting at him. It's like, oh, that's a cool guy. Yeah, Jordan's really chill. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, there you go.
Okay, I want to ask you something.
Cool. Shoot.
Could you see yourself living in Japan again?
Oh, definitely. But
really?
But there's a strong but here. It has to be on my terms. It has to be on my terms. I'd have to move there without sponsorship, but I'd have to support myself. This is why I'm doing the streaming. Because if I get good enough and I show I have a stable enough income from this, I can live anywhere in the world. And I was thinking about moving to Canada. Canada would be nice. But I'd love to live in Japan again. But, and this is another big but, no countryside. I've done it already. No small city. Done it already. I want to live in fucking Osaka. I want to live in Osaka. I love that town. I don't care if it's humid. I'll just, since I work from home anyway, if I do live there, if I'm gonna be working from home, I'm just gonna stay home until it's nighttime. Then I'm gonna go to a bar on the balmy evening, have a couple drinks, walk home drunk, and then that would be my life. And I just practice Japanese.
I could see you marrying like an Asian, like a Japanese woman.
Yeah.
I see that.
You know how much I was made fun of for saying that I wanted to do that when I was like an 8-year-old child? Like, I want to marry a Japanese lady, and I think Asians are so cute. Like, I was like such, I don't want to, if like someone is like exclusively attracted to like black people, there's that term called like jungle fever. Like, I don't know if it's like called yellow fever, but like when I was a kid, it fucking hit like a truck. And now I'm much more open. I'm not like a weird, like it's not, I don't have this fetishization anymore. But holy shit, the fact that you bring that up is so fucking funny. Because it's like,
hey, is that like your preferred? Because everyone, let's get real. Everyone has preference of like their mate, like who they're attracted to. It's like it's just a feeling. So for you, like if you had a preference, would you say like like Asian woman?
You want me to give you my perfect choice if I was to do it?
Okay, yeah.
It would be a Japanese mixed race Brazilian woman.
Ooh.
So she's kind of got like that Latin like vibe to her. Maybe like one of her parents is black, so she's got this really nice body, but she's got the Asianist like like facial structure. If that happened,
whoa, exotic.
I would be in fucking cloud 9. I mean, will it happen?
No, you can manifest it, Nick, if you just think about her and you write it down.
Oh shit, we're talking about journaling.
What qualities? This is what I'm actually going to start doing, is just like writing down traits that I want in a man.
Oh, there you go.
And over time, you start to kind of like, just work towards it.
I mean, I've certainly thought about, for me, I've never dated anybody. I've never, it's just not happened. And looking back, I'm not sad about it anymore. In fact, I'm actually really happy because I became my own fucking person. I have a full personality. Like, I was able to develop myself, which, not a lot of people get to have that. So it's kind of a blessing. It's a blessing and a curse. But the first time I'm going to fall in love is always the hardest. So whoever I get into a relationship with, I feel a little scared for them in a little bit, because I'm going to be coming on like a fucking oh, here, take my love.
My love.
This is the love hammer. It's been getting heavier and heavier for years. At this point, it's like a one cha. Yeah. When it happens.
What happened?
Yeah, and I'm open to it. I'm open to the vibrations.
Open to receiving.
Yes, I'm open to it. And I was resistant for a long time, and I really hate myself for that, looking back.
You weren't ready. You have to be ready.
Yeah. But even then, I have no fucking flirting skills. Like when I go on Tinder and I chat with someone and they're doing this little thing and I'm like, oh fuck, what do I do now?
Just be yourself. I would say being a woman, I would say be yourself, be respectful,
of course,
polite. Someone that's easygoing, which you are easygoing. I'll be my main one. Not being when guys are too forward or hey baby, what's up?
No pickup culture for me. That shit's bad.
No, I don't like that.
That's gross. I would much rather just be let's say I'm in a bar and I know this is the most generic fucking pickup setting you can think of. It's a sitcom trope. But let's say I'm at a bar and there's a woman I'm interested in. What I would do is, I feel now I just walk over and say, hey, I just wanted to come over and say I think you look very nice. And you seem very fun from what I see you engaging with your friends. And I just want to say that my name's Nick. I just want to say hi. It's nice to meet you. And if you want to talk more, I'll be over there.
I like that.
It's
That's
just,
good.
it's simple.
Okay. I have homework for you.
Okay.
Shush. Hey, shut up. Okay. Next time you go out to a bar,
Yeah.
see someone that looks really nice, do that and see what happens.
Okay.
I like that because it's very like you sound confident, but also like you're being like nice and respectful, and you're leaving it open ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. I
Okay.
like that. I like that.
You know how long I've been like workshopping that in my head and be like, oh fuck, I really gotta talk to a woman to understand if that would be a good pickup
Like
line.
that.
Because like, okay, that's
Like
a
that.
good.
It's honest.
It's honest, it's open, it's respectful, and it's
Mm.
just like, and then I leave it or be, and she comes to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the way to do it. Rather than like I've had at times where like, oh, can I buy you a drink? And then, oh, that's really nice. And then something
Ooh.
feels off, or I'm just like not
Right.
into it, but I feel like obligated because they bought me a drink.
Right.
And then they kind of use that as a means of like staying there, even if
Yeah.
I'm not into it. And I would feel rude being like, hey, go away.
Yeah.
I'm too nice like that.
Yeah.
But having it more open ended and be like, oh, like cool, all right, yeah, let's talk. And then that's when you would buy me the drink, and then I give you like that permission in a way.
For sure. See, there's the thing, is that my MO is this. Number one, don't be a creep. Number two, be respectful and recognize that the person you're talking to, they're not an object, they're not less, they're a human being, and they deserve your respect. And three, you know, just have fun. Don't put on a fucking forced face or like these lines you learned from some dumbass on the internet. It's like, yeah, I pick up 17 women in a week because I like have these skills with them. It's like, dude, no. Women are people. They don't need that fucking horse race bullshit. They got they have their own fucking problems without you putting on that extra pressure on them. And that's like my 3 rules. Do you think that's good? Do you like those rules? Cool.
Okay.
For sure. All right. The viewer who is listening is very quiet, but I'm very happy they're here. They've stuck through us the entire time, and that's really cool. So,
Want to do that divinity thing?
all right. So it sounds like we're rearing towards the end. So yeah, let's do the divination. Okay. So first, which one do you want to do first? Do you want to do the tarot or do you want to do the I Ching?
Do the I Ching.
You want to do the I Ching? All right. I Ching's my
Yeah.
jam. That's the one I've been doing the longest. Give me a sec.
Heck yeah.
All right. Now you have to talk and cover it while I get all my materials.
Okay. Is there any way that I can interact with the viewer? Is it only on your end? Show non-video participants. Okay, well, the viewer that's here, thank you for being here. Let's see, what should I talk about? I should talk about a lot of stuff. I live in Arizona. Yesterday we had a dust storm, and actually the power went out, which was really creepy. And it was actually at first we were like panicking because we're like, oh my gosh, like so the fridge was off, like I couldn't get my water out of the fridge, there's no ice. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so pampered. And we found some candles, we lit up the candles. It was just so still and quiet, and it was storming outside. Right now in Arizona, it's the summertime, so we call it monsoon season. Basically just a desert storm. And the desert storm was happening, so you could hear like the wind howling, and it was really quiet. My phone was dying, so I couldn't really be on my phone. It was just actually really nice to just literally unplug for like 4 hours. The house felt so still, and right now I'm in a pretty big house, so it's like everything kind of echoes. I have a piano here, so I was playing piano like next to the candlelight. It just felt like I was living for a short while in like the 1800s or something.
There you go.
It's cool.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and it just felt so still. And then a couple hours later, the power came on. Everything just shut. Everything just turned on all at once. It was like and I could feel like the all the electronics, like all like the radiation and
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, like all the signals, like just like you could just your body like feels it.
I call that the thrum. The thrum of the electronics. Like it's like a like you know like when you feel like a feeling, like a rush of something, and like you kind of like hear like the zzz, you can hear kind of in the walls flowing through it. That's the thrum of the electricity.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like we literally were living always around electronics, and
Yeah.
when it's gone, you feel it, and then when it's there, you're like, oh, it's really there.
Once a month, I try and do this. Once a month, I try and do a no tech day. No pictures, no cell
I like
phone,
that.
no computer. I just have my books. I go for walks. Maybe I get in the car, so that's tech. But like then I go to a park and I just enjoy the day. And it's nice. It's like a detox from the electronics. And then you appreciate it more because you don't have it with you. And I think more people should do that.
I like that. Yeah, I'm actually gonna start doing something like that.
Awesome. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So the way it works is that I use the 8-coin method, and I use things that to store it and use it that are presents for me. For example, this is something that one of my students from our company brought after a trip from my home prefecture, the one I studied abroad in the first time, and it's deer leather. So this has emotional attachment to both my first and second time. So this is a very personal object that I use to divine with.
Very Japanese.
Yeah, it's for the year of the mouse. You can see like the little mice.
Oh, it's so cutesy.
I know, it's very adorable. I have another one that's like a little coin purse. It's really great, and I use it for storage. I love these things. All right, you ready for the first? Okay, so first things first. The I Ching is the first book of Chinese to exist in the history of that civilization. It is a 4,000-year-old text. And what you use is you get readings from a hexagram. There's like 6 lines. And they're like this. You might have seen it in different things. So you line it up, and then one of the lines is moving. The way I do it. It's like very simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these up, mix the coins, and one of them has a dot on it. The one with the dot, you get the lower. The one on the top, with the dot, you get that. So let's see what your first one is. So this one is not about like asking problems. Okay, interesting. All right, you got your first one. You got fire as your bottom. Well, fire is good. Fire is a good element. Okay, yang, yin, and yang again. All right, let's get your next. And then after this, we'll do tarot. And that's going to be more like you can ask me issues, and I'll try and like piece it out intuitively from the cards, you know?
Okay.
All right, okay. Ah, immediately. Interesting. And to anyone who is going to do divination, here's my recommendation. Explore what you are attracted to, but also it's very important for you to talk to your guest or the person you're reading so they don't get bored. So like I'm explaining it to Alexis right now, everybody. And she's got a smile on your face. You can see she's looking interested because I'm shaking this little bag really, really hard, mixing it up. She's laughing. She's engaged. So that's good. Now we're going to see you're moving. Holy shit, the first one again. Okay. All right. So your reading is fire below and then heaven above. Your moving line is the first line, the bottom, which represents the earth. So the hexagrams represent heaven, humanity, and earth, and the connection between the two. So let's see. You got number 13. 13 is a part of the first 32 of the trigrams, which means they are major. This is a big reading. It means it's an important aspect of your life you should focus on. So let's go to number 13. So the way I use it, I use a book with I bought originally in Japan when I started using the I Ching, but then I bought a book made by a Chinese I Ching specialist. to use as reading the thing now. So I use 2 books to do this, actually. So let's see.
Oh.
There we go. Number 13. There we go. Your reading, your advice from the I Ching is Tongren. This means seeking harmony.
Ah, that's so true right now, though.
There you go. See, it really divination hits hard because it really does show things in our lives. So, so I'm going to read you the description. So, Tongren has been described as meaning fellowship with man, or maybe lovers, or beloved, or friends, like-minded people, universal brotherhood. So the thing of the character is this: Tong means similar, alike, the same, you know. So, and Ren means people. So people who are like you, you're probably attracting them in some way. Now, when you put these people together, they're a unit and they like each other. In ancient China, Tongren also meant people with the same interests. So, thus, our master translates this as seeking harmony, because you're seeking harmony with people who are like you, because you like the same things. Now, this means you're forming alliances. It means you're making connections. Maybe in your job, maybe in your professional career, you're meeting similar-minded people who you can pull from as contacts to be able to advance yourself professionally, maybe.
It's true.
Yes. Now, to break through a tough situation, what you need to do is to work together in harmony, in an alliance, to get better in your life. So the character literally just means 2 things. There's Tong up top, which is made of 3 parts, and it's like an upward triangle without a bottom line. So it's like a house or a door frame. And in the house, there's a single strike, like the color, like the Chinese character 1, the kanji 1. Okay? Now, underneath this is a mouth. So it's a gathering together as one with communication. So think of like this. So if someone wanted to know how many people there were in your family, they would ask, how many mouths are there in your family? Like, how much do you have to feed? Because that food was a big part of ancient culture. So when these things work together, this group of people, it's one unit working together in harmony, which is a very positive thing. In Chinese culture, harmony is sick. Harmony is awesome. Harmony is exemplary. It's really important. It's the identity of Ren, too, which is humanity. So togetherness and humanity, this is a great little reading for you. So let's see here. So the sequence, so this is what you would be written of it. Events cannot be hindered. You cannot be stopped, is what it means. Thus, after being stopped, seeking harmony follows. So think of this proverb. People in the same boat help each other, sharing weal and woe. So whoever you're with, you got to share it with them. So in the I Ching, according to it, there's no one sameness. No one's absolutely the same. So to seek harmony, you have to find common ground on big issues. And you have to be able to accept that they have small differences. And it's very wise for people to understand each other's nature and not treat each other differently, but find that common ground. If there's common ground, you can create harmony, and harmony allows for everything to work together perfectly. So, it serves the common interests of the countrymen. This is seeking harmony. It's everyone working together to some greater goal. So here's the decision. Here's what's written for it for you. Here's what you should apply to your life. Seeking harmony among people, prosperous and smooth, favorable to cross great rivers, so there's travel, favorable for the superior person. So what you're doing, you're making yourself a better human being. And to be steadfast and upright, to stand tall and hold yourself to an accord, to have standards, to live a good life. Now, here is an even greater commentary from Confucius, because Confucius loved this text. So Confucius would say, seeking harmony, the yielding obtains the proper place. It is central and corresponds with Chan, the initiating, beginning, life, new. This is seeking harmony. Seeking harmony says, seeking harmony among people, prosperous and smooth, favorable to cross rivers. This is because Chong, the initiating, is progressing and advancing. I think what this is telling me for you is that right now, whatever you're doing is really working well for yourself. You're connecting with a lot of people, and you are moving forward in your life, and you are being prosperous. You are allowed to make long leaps across heavy things like rivers, which for the ancients back in the day didn't have good boat technology. So you're doing good. You're doing really good. Now, brilliance with strength. So your mind working with your body, your mental strength, your physical strength, it's all together. this is the correct way for the superior person. And only the superior person is able to convey the wills of all under heaven. So you're currently right now able to get your point across to anyone without trouble. Because you have the ability to seek harmony. You have the ability to connect. Yes. Mm-hmm. So here's another piece of advice. Heaven with fire. This is the hexagram. An image of seeking harmony. In correspondence with this, the superior person, you, makes classification of people. So you rank people, you choose people, you see how they are. You can read them easy. You know what's going on below the surface. And according to their natures, the other people, and in terms of making distinctions of things, in terms of their categories. So you have this ability to read people too. So you can keep bad people out of your life pretty easy right now, and you can keep really good people and you can let them into your life. And that's good. You got a good spot. You got a real good spot. Now let's see what your Yao text is. So since you got the first line, it's the initial 9. So, seeking harmony out of the gate, no fault. So, basically, you can step out in a thing as long as you apply that positive, welcoming attitude with a little bit of discernment, you're going to have no trouble. You got things under control. You're doing good. Society and the heavens, the will of whatever your higher power is telling you right now, hey, now's the time. You got to make those connections because you're going to do very good and advance very far with it. Now let's check what the last thing is, though. And this is what it will transform into when that moving line changes. So you got, again, it's the initial 9. It's that first line. So it's seeking harmony. It changes into retreat, 33. So your line was seeking harmony out of the gate. And while this line that you have that changes, it changes from yang, which is masculine, progress, moving forward, externality, fire. It's changing to yin, which is perceptiveness, passivity, water, not reacting, but like, reacting and not like acting, like not pushing forward, but like kind of like imagine a water flowing instead of like fire going. So this line is the beginning of the harmony. So when it changes, this is a talk about the future. The corresponding lines don't match. So basically what happens is seeking harmony out of gates suggests action in public and it's not in secret. And everything is open. So that's why Confucius says, why is there fault with it? So what you need to do is the retreat is that you shouldn't retreat into privacy. If you're going to do something, don't hold anything back from people. It's important for you to be open because that open thing is going to probably build trust for people, and it's important for you to build that probably for your professional life because in America, everything's about business. Business is our culture. So apply that to your business. Apply that to who you engage with for your work, and you will see things succeed. You will see more come to you because you're seeking harmony. And the retreat means you're not going into privacy. And that's the I Ching.
Dogs agree. Cool. It's very deep.
Yep. It is a good one.
It's interesting that you said all that because I am at a point in my life where I'm trying to find the inner peace within myself and not living super externally and finding happiness within.
Yes.
And so it really hit home with like finding the harmony and then also being comfortable expressing myself fully in front of like my coworkers. Friends, I'm pretty open, but when it comes to my work, I do tend to be really a lot more reserved, and that's something that I'm working on and being more open about my opinions and like ideas that I have.
There you go. Well, that's your sign. Now, you want to do some tarot?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me get my tarot stuff. I'll be right back. It's literally all my stuff is right over here, and I have a small room. Well, not small, but like it's perfect for me because I don't like a big room. Big rooms like freak me out because I like feeling a little bit of like tightness in space, which I'm sure is going to cause a little bit of clash, but that's why you have offices. All right. So, tarot, I'm a baby at tarot. I've been doing tarot the least long, but like I'm pretty intuitive, so I can get it. So, while I am shuffling my cards, first I have to cleanse them. I was doing a lot of reading for myself earlier. I had a really bad experience with this really aggressive guy at Barnes & Noble. Like, he thought I was following him for some weird-ass reason. And, like, it felt like I was being constrained by, like, tentacles of negative energy. So I literally had to, like, cleanse myself. And I also asked my friend, who's, like, also a pagan. Like, I asked him, hey, can you do... And he's, like, a Wicca guy. So I told him, hey, can you do a spell for me of protection? Because I feel like that guy's going to fucking curse my ass. Even though I left when he wanted me to. I felt really bad. I was like, it took me an hour to calm down. Because, you know, it sucked.
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah, it was not fun. Anyway, so I just use my breath to follow it, to cleanse it. All right, so while I shuffle, I want to hear. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? What is the universe? What message do you want to ask?
I want to ask.
Because this is the one to do it with. This are the runes. The I Ching is kind of like just general advice for how you should engage in society. And to any future listeners on the streams or the podcast, if you ask for a reading, I will do them for you. And for these first couple months, they're completely free. But once I get experienced, I'm going to be charging for them. So, guys, hop on the bandwagon now.
There you go.
And for my podcast guests, of course, they're going to be free because I want you guys to have a fun time. I don't need your money. I mean, I'd like your money, but like I don't want to be a greedy guy. You know. I'm sorry. You look so like
I'm trying to figure out a question right now. Like, what do I want to ask?
Anything. You want me to just do like a generic like reading for now before you think of a question?
Well, I want to ask it something. I want it to be more direct.
Of course. Well, while you're thinking about it, that's where like shuffling the cards is really going to get it straight. The more I shuffle, the better the result.
What career will I end up in? Because now I'm working in like I think my headphones just turned off. I think sorry.
That's okay. You're just gonna probably have to turn me down a little bit.
Here, let me turn you down. Is that better?
Let's see. Yeah, I can't hear myself. That's good. That's perfect.
Okay. What
career path do you think you might want to take? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like I've actually thought about running for mayor in my hometown one day. Like,
shit.
So I'm like wondering, like, am I gonna be in like a leadership role when I get older?
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna give you the straight G, like the classic tarot read. I'm gonna do a Celtic cross for you on this. All right.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So I'm breaking the deck into threes. Think of the breaking of the deck into three piles as like past, present, and future while you shuffle. So I'm going to do like a little bit more shuffling. And there we go. Okay?
Cool.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I don't do reverse readings. I just do them straight because I'm still like a beginner at this.
No problem.
Oh, that's so interesting. So the first one is your issue. It's what your question is. It's the direction. You got number 20 of the major arcana. This is a major thing it's telling you in the universe. It's judgment. It's judgment.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, hold on. The dogs are freaking out.
So look at this. You see like the angel of heaven bringing it down, and the trumpet is calling people up, waking them up from their slumber, from sleep. A judgment has happened. Something. You've almost reached the end of your journey, so you're very close to discovering something. The fact that you asked me that is you're making a decision. That's the main thing. So let me read this for you. The judgment, number 20. Holy shit, that's so cool. You got a major arcana for one of that things. Oh my gosh. So judgment serves the ultimate release when we are accepting of the past and ourselves as we follow the divine call to our spiritual awakening. So you're all ready for the next step in your personal growth, accepting yourself and releasing the past. In the judgment, you see an angel blowing a trumpet while people emerge from caskets rejoicing. This gives off the image of Judgment Day. So avert Christian themes aside. So what you're seeing is a depiction of the universe answering that's causing a spiritual awakening. So whatever you did, that's like fucking fantastic. So like whatever your spiritual practices are, you have reached the fucking chord of knowing yourself. Now it's just like if you let go of the baggage, you're fantastic. Okay, so during this awakening, you're going to reflect on your life and your choices, and remember to have compassion for who you once were. Don't hate your past, because you were Your past was, you're still yourself. You got to be kind to yourself. But remember that the judgments, you got to release them and what you held about yourself so you can move on. Now, you asked about your career. So don't allow past mistakes or decisions in the realm of finance or your career to define you. Focus on releasing the past and move to a new, more successful period. Heed signs from the universe and follow them towards a new career path or an opportunity in business. Now, you were talking about, and look at the I Ching, it even said, like, you have the harmony to move forward and be more open out in public. And that's literally telling you, you have a decision to open up and be forward and try new things. The universe is telling you something. Now, the second is the blockage. So this energy of this next card is blocking that judgment, okay? Oh, that's an interesting choice. So you got the Four of Pentacles. So the Pentacles is related to, fairly certain, let's see, is it Earth? I'm fairly certain it's Earth. It's about prosperity and wealth. You can notice in the man that he's got two different coins below his feet, and he's holding two, and there's one above him. That means his mind is on his career. So basically, what this is telling me relating to that judgment is that the Four of Pentacles is all about, and I read this earlier because I got it earlier. It's all about, you have this stable income, you have this stable job, but you're a little cautious. You're a little hesitant to take the jump. You maybe don't feel like, as you're worried, I might lose my job. I might lose this income. I might lose my stability, my independence. But that's where the judgment comes in, because that feeling is blocking that judgment. So it's calling for you to push past it, to me.
Interesting.
Let's see. The third one is your subconscious. What's your subconscious telling you? The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands. As you can see here, there are 9 wands behind this man. He's a little injured, but he's holding on to one of them for stability. Now, what this tells me about below, I got to go to the Nine of Wands to figure it out. Sometimes, you don't know. And it's good to have this big-ass book to tell you what to tell people. So despite your setbacks, this is your subconscious telling you, you have come a long way. The end is in sight. Do not give up now. Do not give up now. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you shouldn't give up. You got to keep moving forward. Now, this is about how you're exhausted but you're resolved. You're like, it's just been tired to work this hard. This has been, But like, you've done it. You keep going. The man's tired. He's bandaged. But he's taking a break to think, shit, I've come afar. I've done things. I've accomplished stuff. Hell, you've been to Japan. You've traveled the world in a giant pandemic that's once in a century. You're living life. You've gotten out of your parents' home. You're working a professional job now. You're interested in future careers. That's great. Your subconscious is like, good for me. Recognize it, but keep moving forward. And it's, again, that's related to the judgment, relating back to the past and letting go and accepting the future. So, for career and money, continue to persist in the pursuit of your goals. This current cycle is coming to an end. Judgment is the second to last card in the major arcana. Very good sign. And it's time to take up the finishing things on a project you might have started. And you have to pull from your energy. You have to pull it, stay strong, and your hard work's going to pay off. So far, this is all very good. Next is your conscious. It's what your mind is going through. The Five of Pentacles. So again, this is related to wealth and earth. Yes, but notice, you see, like, they're in the snow, and child is like, he's got, like, crutches. This woman's just praying. But then there's this image of a holy tree up here. A holy tree of pentacles, like a candelabra, if you will. Let's go to Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles. So, here's what it says. Focusing on your fears won't bring abundance in your life. So, hiding away and retreating won't be good for you. Shift your attention to feeling abundant and watch as your circumstances change before your eyes. The universe is telling you something very good. It's all about prosperity. So this card is asking you to examine your faith in the abundant universe, the vibrations of receiving and making your life better. So it shows two people as they're kind of suffering walking through the snow. But they're walking past a beautiful painted scene above them. And it's got this beautiful stained glass with 5 golden coins. Imagine it's a sanctuary for you. And you're at the end of that suffering. That's what your mind's going through. But they do not feel worthy of the charity, and they're still going. So what I would tell you for your things is you're grappling with your fear. You asked about your career. And you're kind of afraid about maybe losing your job or financial instability. But this card, it may represent something less concrete than that. But that's like your worries. That's what you're thinking about. But clearly everything else, your subconscious and the universe is telling you, don't worry about that. That's something you should ignore. Basically, your fear-based actions might lead you down something better, but you have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to be ready and comfortable, and you have what you need. You have what you need right now. You have that fear, but it's okay to have that fear as long as you can push past that fear, is what I'm seeing in the cards. So now, your past. This is what the past is indicating for you. You got wands again. You got the Page of Wands. You see this man in a fancy smock with a big stick. And wands is all about fire and passion and creativity. Like when you light up a log and it brings you warmth and you feel good. So let's go to the Page of Wands for your past. Okay. Page of Pentacles. There we go. Wands. All right. So the messenger of fire brings exciting news. Be open to adventurous opportunities. So in your past, you might have had something happen to you that brought about a great thing. So this is full of youthful energy. It may represent a child or a younger person you know, or maybe it'd be a message from your inner child that you received in the past. It's telling you to be more playful and adventurous, and clearly that led you to your judgment right now, to be more open and adventurous and fun and trying new things and getting out there. Now, it's strange because he's just standing there thinking, right? He's just standing there, he's thinking. It shows that he's connected to the earth. The earth is very solid. It's your support. And it's very good to have that solidness because it allows you to be grounded but also curious because he's thinking about it. So clearly you've been very much focused on the here and now, what's happening in the past, but you're open to things. It's led to something very good because of this career thing. So now, for the past, a job opportunity is coming that will excite you, and it's going to reignite your passion for what you do. This is in the past. Do you feel like you've had that?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I worked in public health before I worked at the company that we worked for.
Right.
And then when we were working for the company, that was a completely different field. And I came back to my previous field. I don't work in public health. I work for a private company, a private nutrition company.
Right.
And I'm back in my field, and I feel like it's I'm at the right place now. But I'm also thinking
Right.
Later,
that's where that
I might
judgment
get bored
is.
of it and want to do something else. So, but I'm at a place right now where I feel like it's like I'm coming back to my roots.
There you go. The earth, the roots, the passion. There you go. Absolutely. So, you've been feeling busy. Make sure you deliver on your promises. Clearly you have, because you're doing good. You're having a good life. You're living a good life. That's what the past led you to right now, where you have that decision. No, this is your future. Everything is money for you. Everything is pentacles. That's not bad. That's good. It shows a consistent strain.
When I was younger, my friend and I used to always do tarot cards, like read each other's, and I'd always.
You always with pentacles? There you go. Maybe you're. What's your astrology sign, if I might ask?
My sun sign is Scorpio.
And is Scorpio? What is Scorpio's element? Is it fire, air?
We're water.
You're water. That's interesting. Well, water and earth together create great things. It creates prosperity and growth. That's why it's important for farming and for everyone to be alive. So that's really solid. It's really solid that you got that. Now for your future, you got the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. What a cute little guy. It's all about balance with the Two of Pentacles. And it's about your prioritization and what's important for you. So in the future, you're going to reach a point of personal development where you're going to feel ready to integrate some important life changes that's going to create balance for you. That's why you see the infinity symbol. It's all about kind of having that balance between the two sides of yourself. And he's juggling. And mind you, look at the Two of Pentacles. There's water behind him. There's water behind him with ships traveling. Remember that you were going to cross a big river in the I Ching reading. So there's that too. This is why I like doing multiple divination, because it really allows you to specify shit. The feeling really makes sense. Now, since we're talking about your future career, Let's go to your career. So it's saying right now you should put your energy towards managing your finances or balancing your budget to maximize your money.
That's what I'm doing right now.
You may need to choose between your current job and maybe your side hustle or your passion project. Maybe that, again, this is for the future. This is the future. So you might have to come to that decision, which is related to the judgment. It's related to the judgment and that kind of, oh no, the stability of the income. So there you go. It's all fucking tied together. So strive to have a good balance between your career and your home life. And in other words, just don't spread yourself too thin. Don't do that. That's bad for your health. It's good for you to be healthy. Which you are. I see your posts. I see your healthy breakfasts and lunches and stuff. And that's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So now we're going to get into the kind of side stuff. Like your energy or your feelings, how others feel about you, and then your hopes and dreams, and the likely outcome. So the last 4. All right.
Okay, cool.
So first, so your feelings. It's the 5 of Wands. Look at all these guys.
Are you sure? Is this set up? You just have like wands and pentacles for me?
No, I shuffled it hard, man. I did it. I did the thing and then I broke it up. This is all random. I don't plan this. I wish I could. I don't know how to use cards. I can't shuffle good. So this is all just random for me. So this is just showing good stuff. All right, so what's the 5 tell you? They got all quiet. All right. The differences between rivalry and healthy competition asks you to work with your ego in a productive way. So it's all about dynamic competitiveness, banging together, doing things. It's colorful. No one's hurt. No one's angry. It's like bumping your ego against them, but it's not serious. It's not mean. It's positive. So I see this as like maybe your feelings are, I want to get that. I want to push my ideas forward. That's how I feel. I need to get out there. That's what you want to do. So it's really true. So you might have struggles in the workplace. There might be rivalry, and that's consuming you. This worry, maybe. That's that fear. Promotion for a competition for a promotion, maybe delivering results. That might be the energy you have at work right now. Success is in your grasp, so take strategic action and don't get caught up in egotistical battles. Focus on your job. Don't worry about like oh no, what if I trip on someone? What if I... Focus on your job. Do your best, and good things are going to happen probably. But now let's see what others see about you, how they see you. Oh, that's interesting. How others see you is the Lovers.
Ooh.
I'm very interested to see how this relates to your career. And this is a major arcana, so this is a very important message to tell, as you know, since you've done tarot before. So, all right, the Lovers. Number 6. The Lovers stand together in harmony. It's the balance of feminine and masculine energy. There's nothing to hide. Every choice they make is in alignment with love. Oh, it's so positive. The angel is blessing them. There's fertility. It's Adam and Eve. You also see the snake, but that's fine because he represents an enlightening thought. So, there's an opportunity to connect in your relationships that will support your happiest, healthiest, best self. You know what that tells me? When you go and engage and do that clash of egos, others are going to like you for it. You're going to have a good time with it because they're going to be like, yeah, I like Alexis' energy. I like her thoughts. We're going to put you, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's solid. I should nickname this stream the Dog Bark Cast.
I'm sorry, there's a dust storm that's happening and I'm kind of freaking out because I'm hoping the power doesn't go out again.
Oh, okay. I understand that. That makes sense. Well,
yeah, and they're barking because it's windy outside and it's a dust storm right now.
I'm hoping for you that it's all good.
Thank you.
All right. So this says for your career and money that there may be romance in the workplace.
Oh.
Or you may be working right now with your romantic partner. So you might be seeing it, or you might meet a partner who you gel with at your work. It also means you might align with a beneficial business partner or coworker. So it's the tying together of your working together is what it could mean. Now, you could also be making money in alignment with what you love. So you were in public health, and you went to the company, then you came back. So you might be making money, and that passion is the love you feel for what you do. That could be it as well. I don't want to box you in. Any of these things could happen. That's the beauty of it. What's the next one? Oh my gosh, it's another pentacle. Your hopes and dreams. It's the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new beginning.
Yay. You know, it's funny that we keep talking about pentacles because I have had money on my mind a lot. I just bought a new car, which is, as you know, I financed it, so it's a big commitment. I've never
Right.
made a commitment like that. So, but I feel like I'm ready for it. I make enough to afford it, and so I've really been honing down on my finances and budgeting for it and saving and making like just better decisions with my money. And
Right.
that's something that I'm really focusing right now is getting my financial ducks in a row.
There
That's
you
my
go.
priority.
That's
On
crazy.
my mind a lot. It's been on my
That's
mind a lot, money.
There you go. Well, clearly I'm clearly whatever is above us is telling you. There you go. Because again, this is your hopes and dreams. It's a new beginning because it's an ace, and we all know it's the start. So let's career and new job. A new job, a raise, or an opportunity
Mm.
will present itself soon, and that will pay off in terms of increased income and stability. So that floor that's blocking your judgment, forget about it. This is your hopes and dreams coming true. And now real estate or new property is favored if you're searching for a new office space maybe, and you are ready to pursue a new career path that will offer more stability and abundance.
Oh, hey! I
Which,
wonder what that could be.
yeah, there you go. Isn't that nice? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Now let's see what the likely result is.
What is it?
Well. We're talking about finishing stuff. And look at what you got. All but the 10 of cups.
Ooh.
The cups are all aligned in a rainbow as a family is joyous and happy as the children dance together in merriment. This is positive. You got a really fucking good read. Today was
I love it.
There you go. The culmination of emotional fulfillment is the gateway to the next adventure. So this is a card of celebration. You have reached the apex of emotional fulfillment. So, in relation to your job, you are experiencing success in the workplace and success in the home. Enjoy the feeling of a happy work-life balance and acknowledge any support you receive from your coworkers that feel like a family. If you're eager to start a business or make a positive change in your career, know that you have support of your family or the people around you.
Aw, I love that.
There you go. You got some good I'm a little jealous. It's like, oh shit, I wish I had her reading today. Fucking good.
Heck yeah. Good things are to come.
There you go.
Yeah. Talking about literally stuff that I've been going through and again with like money, my career, because it's kind of the running joke in my family that I've been a gypsy for the past 7 years, like living abroad. During college, I traveled a lot. I was always going out, holding events. I was very involved within my school.
Right.
Just always doing things, having experiences. That was my priority. Now I'm, 27, have my own place, just bought my
First
the
car.
nicest bed and focusing on my career, thinking about graduate school, like just I'm in a very different place. I'm in a very different place compared to where I was before Japan.
There you go.
And hearing that was really enlightening to hear that.
That makes me so happy to hear, but it also makes me think this. I clearly have some kind of fucking energy for tapping into the divination. Like, I don't know how I'm doing it.
That was an awesome reading. You did really good.
Thank you. It's like, I love doing this.
You.
It's like, because it's fun for me. Because I think of it like, so I like reading myself, but I feel like when I read others, it allows me to get even more skill. So like, thank you for allowing that for the first most, for both of them.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you. All right.
Welcome.
So we are going on now at 2 hours and 28 minutes. I could continue on probably, but I also kind of always want to, at this point, I'm just like, this is my big stream of the day. So I want to ask you, how are you feeling? Are you like ready to kind of like retire for it? Or how are you feeling?
I think I'm pretty good at finishing up right now. The dogs, I have to like pay attention to them, and then I have to figure out, like, it's really windy right now, and so I gotta like pick up on some stuff.
For sure.
But I feel like we should do this again sometime. Like, play a game or do another reading. Invite another person from our training. It'd
Yeah,
be really cool if we had like multiple people or did like a karaoke event. I'm totally down to do this again though, for sure.
that's awesome, and I'm so down to do all that fun stuff too. Now, now we're reaching towards the end of the podcast, everybody. So with that, Alexis, is there anything you want to plug? Any channels, any pages on social media?
Yeah, you can find me. My Instagram is Lecky Lou, so LECCY.LOU, and I'm a dog sitter, and I work for a nutrition company. So if you ever want like nutrition consulting, you want me to make you like a menu or something, let me know. And then my YouTube channel is Blueberry Lek. I want to make sure that I spell it out right. Yeah, so it's Blueberry Lek, BLUBERRYLEC. I post really random stuff. A lot of it's like traveling or just me talking about life. So, and I have a lot of playlists on there. I'm really into music as well. So,
Follow her, guys. Her Instagram's fun.
follow
Her
me.
stuff is fun. She's gonna get stuff up too, probably from that Okinawa trip, because that will make even more people like, "Oh my God, that's beautiful," especially during COVID. That's incredible.
Yeah. I
And
called it a tropical, what did I call it when I was at the beach and there was no one there? It was, a tropical ghost town.
I like that. That's great. That's fantastic. Wow. Alexis, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being a guest. And now for myself, I am the Wagonmeister. You can find me in any of the social media links down below. If you want to contact me, feel free to message my Facebook page. Secondly, if you're an interested person to want to be interviewed by myself, please send me that message on Facebook and we can contact each other through Discord, which for me is private. And I'd love to see you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming to the stream. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, evening, night, day, morning, whatever, wherever they're from. Thank you for coming out. All right. And with that, see you, everybody.
Bye.